back in the 80s. That was so early days on video and stuff. So I was not that interested in renting videos because that was probably the only way I could have gotten to them back then.
Well, yeah, and now the reason, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because a lot of these are being streamed. I know Hawk the Slayer's on like Amazon Prime right now, and that.
Yeah, I watched a Dragon Slayer like a month ago. So yeah.
It's a guy from Ally McBeal. The Biscuit. That's the Biscuit from Ally McBeal. I forget his name.
And Legend is Tom Cruise in it.
Yeah, I know, and that's like real
Tom
early.
Cruise. Yeah.
Oh, I got a knot in my. I had a knot in my headset, and I hate that, so I had to undo it because I'm OCD. Yep. Can you hear us? Normally start too, so
it might be
a slow start here.
Yeah, I have to leave about 6:45 if we run along, but yeah.
No, I don't think we'll go that far.
So I can be on 2 hours.
I really don't think we'll go that late tonight. No.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I started early to try. I wanted to try and get done by 9:15 my time.
Okay, perfect. Then I can. Then 6:15. Wednesdays and Sundays I have nothing else. This is
Just trying to make sure I can do this. Alright, so next is talking to myself. What's up, Dorgan? Alright, cool. Mic check is confirmed. I like to hear that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good. That's good. Yeah, it's an off night, plus it's also an off time. We're a half hour earlier than normal, just because I can't run late. I got a long drive next 2 days. It's just work's gonna be rough this week. So not complaining, but just saying it's gonna be a rough week. So it'll be good. Hey Archie, what's up? What's up? Saw you over there hanging out on Mike's stream. I was lurking for a while. Sure. What's up, guys? I do have a giveaway tonight too, at least one, so that's good. We got some stuff going tonight.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many movies I was able to find. A couple of them I've never seen, so I just don't know about.
Lots of them.
Lots for you, Anna, but that's the fun part of it.
That's the fun part, yeah.
You'd be like, oh, maybe I should watch that, and then you watch it and goes, that was terrible.
Yeah, but now you can actually get to a lot of them. That's the thing. A lot of reason I didn't see them back then was that I didn't have a chance to see them.
It's weird being on a Monday, but hey, it works. Definitely works here. So let me hit some shout outs here. What's up, Lazy? So there is hit that bottom one. Reaper Mini Splashers Ref Lord Kazumba, get on their site. Oh, it counts for us, one of those reference things if you can. Not a big deal, but that always helps us with our sponsor Reaper. And Infinite Dimensions is that's awesome. Popcorn is perfect for tonight when we're talking about some good movies and some really cheesy movies. So, Infinite Dimensions currently has the priciest complimentary gift for the fundraiser, and that is everything you see on this stream, on this ad, all the STLs for this, the gold level pledge kit for the Kickstarter. They're giving away one that's like $150 to $160. The pledge itself was value, for the high donator with who wants it with STLs. So that's the highest one we have. We got a lot there, like in the $60 range, $50. We got a lot of stuff. So how much value would you put on a signed Bandit Kingdom copy of Casey Brown's name on it? Or a Horror in the Hool signed by Carlos and me. We're gonna give a couple of them away for the fundraiser too. I guess I should leave my Discord up on my laptop. Can't hurt. Anyone saw? I love Excalibur.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, Desik just asked. That's Lendra's. So if Lendra's is on, yeah.
Have you seen this? Did you see the one that was last year? I think it was that Excalibur. I never saw that one.
What? The one with Charlie Hunnam? That one with King Arthur? That's King Arthur?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It was pretty bad. It's just as bad as King Arthur with Clive Owen.
Okay, yeah.
But that's a 2000. That doesn't make the cut here because it's 2000s. But man.
Yeah, but I liked that movie. I liked that one.
It was good, but there were so many issues with that.
Yeah, but it had some cool fighting scenes and stuff.
It did. But Saxons weren't around then.
No, I know that.
And the 400.
The story was completely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hit the wrong. I was not ready for the switch over.
Vikings and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and crossbow. The crossbow didn't exist in 450 AD. You know. There you go. Thanks for the resub. Thank you. That's yeah. So, but it was
so many issues, but it was a cool action movie.
It was
some sort of fantasy. Yeah.
It was. And Ian Grufford's in it too, and. The other guy, the guy who was in James Bond, and he was in Rogue One. He was Tristan in that. Crom! They fought Crom last Thursday. Crom! Definitely fun. Yeah, I just made the undead, large, giant, frost giant thing. I made that, I'm gonna put this on here. I don't know how long this music is. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Of course, there you go. You didn't even notice that one. That'll take us right up to the right time. Yeah, it was just a little bit of fun with that. I got some sleepers in here. A lot of people don't know about Sword of the Valiant, and it's got Sean Connery in it. It's about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. That's cool too.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
not that I've.
Sean Connery's the Green Knight. Robin Hood, Ken Costner. Oh my God, is that in the '90s? I forgot that one.
It's the '90s.
Oh, there's one. All right, that's a tip for one.
It's an awesome movie.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie. I think it's really '90s. I think it's like 1990.
Yeah, there's one I missed. I got Willow. Come on, I got some Willow stories, Lazy. I got some good Willow stories, and they involve Bill Sashar the Master Crafter, and his love for and fascination with Joanne Wally. No, I got some funny things with that one. All right. Come on a couple minutes early. Oh, you haven't VHS. I mean, that's the worst too. That's the worst. All right, so
we had to have it back then.
Do you remember back in the day when you were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a movie coming on, and I want to record VHS record it." I did that with all the Hitchhiker's Guides to the Galaxy on PBS when they're having a fundraiser. Okay. So because back in the day, you couldn't get the original, 6 to 8 episodes of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I had it, and then I couldn't watch it after that because it was because there was no other way to get it.
So you get lines, and it was
and all the Doctor Who's too, like Tom Baker and Peter Davison's Doctor Who's back then had a whole bunch of them VHS recorded too, and then
So did any of these was it VHS and going and rent? Was that the way you got movies back in the US in the 80s like this, or were they on cable and stuff back then? Or
so you would see. That's a good question to start us off here. So we had if you know the Delaware Valley, we had Prism before Home Box Office. It was a small. And they had movies, and I know I saw Hearts and Armor that. Who brought up Hearts and Armor? Canadian? I saw Hearts and Armor on Prism. I know I did. I saw
that was cable service back then, or cable TV.
Yeah. I saw Excalibur in the drive-in. Yeah. And that's the one
because so early that we barely had cable TV in Sweden. Yeah. Only the biggest of cities had cable TV, and we only got a third channel back then. And so meaning TV was basically out. That the only way to see it was to go and rent a video somewhere. And early 80s, we didn't have, even in the small town where I grew up, we barely had a video rental. Then they started the gas station to have a few and so on. So it was kind of, you never saw it. We went to the movies and saw Conan and all that. That was...
Absolutely. Conan was always on. Conan was always on Prism and HBO. So Bobcat, watch this. The Hand of Fear, they found in a construction site. And when they got it near nuclear energy, it started regrowing back into this creature who overtook this race. And it was a woman first because the first person he came across was Sarah Jane Smith, I believe, wasn't it? Bobcat
impersonation of what? Yeah, it was
then
like
turned into the guy
kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was an alien creature, and then he worked. They got back to, and they were all dead after all those millions of years because they thought he'd eventually come back. And that right? Did I get see? Yeah. I'm a Doctor Who connoisseur back of those days.
Oh yeah, I've never been into Doctor Who much.
Definitely good for this time frame. So, this has come about. I've always talked about doing this show for a year.
So where do you want to start?
Let's start early and then work our way up. How's that sound for everyone?
Yeah.
Because in 1982, I saw Conan in theaters. One of our friends' older brothers was an usher in Godsend. And here's the thing. Alan and myself and another guy, when we were in like 8th or 9th grade, went and thought we could sneak in to see Heavy Metal, and we didn't get in. They didn't let us in because it was R-rated back then. That show. I think it was 80, wasn't it? Heavy Metal, or 80 or 81, and Excalibur was like the same thing because it was pretty violent for its time, and there's nudity and sex scenes in it. Yeah. So. There's a lot of those movies. A lot of these D&D movies early on had a lot of nudity in them, particularly the really, really B ones. Like, good.
Yeah. It's funny because in Sweden they cut away some of the violent scenes, but the nudity, no one cared about that. So we there was some nudity scenes that I saw all the nudity scenes, but I didn't see all the was some of the violence that cut away. And then back then it was a big thing. They even wrote in the newspaper saying, "Oh, Conan missed 2 minutes or whatever it was," and so everybody knew what it was, and then you saw it later. So it was kind of it. almost counterproductive, because everybody was like, "Oh, that's the important part." So if they didn't have they just kept it, people would not react to it. So
right, yeah, but you got to remember, in the '80s, in the Reagan era here in the U.S., you're not going to have
you had prudent, but you had no. You saw the violent scenes, and we saw the nude scenes back in Europe.
Yeah. Now on cable they weren't cut. It was all on the made for TV. They always ended up doing a made for TV movie of them and really hacking them apart. So I remember when I was a kid, Animal House, Stripes, and Caddyshack, putting them as made for TV movies was a joke, because there was nothing to them. They cut everything out of the movies. It was terrible.
But for us, it was when we saw it on the movies big screen. Then it was cut. The violent scenes were cut because that was public. But if you rented the video version, then that was not cut. So then you could see all the gory whatever. So that because that was in your home, and that was free speech. Right. So at home you could see whatever you want. The government couldn't say anything. So that was kind of So we
interesting.
So as soon as they came in the video version, and in a way the movie companies probably liked it, because that meant sure that everybody saw the movie at least twice. They saw it on the movie's big screen first, and then rented it a year or two later on when it came out.
You're gonna see on this list some movies. Hey Megan, you're gonna see on this list some movies that are really bad, but they're comical. And I guarantee you, Lazy, some of them were on USA Up All Night. Some of them were on Mystery Science Theater 3000 as joke movies. And some of them are just on at times. And so let's start at the beginning, in the early 80s. Now, I think Excalibur's 81. But
it's early.
It's really, really early, and but I have, I think I have one more that is close to that, and this actually makes Seshar Score and Bill's wife laugh every time I mention this movie. And I'm going to throw them off to the right, because the scroller, me slapping that scroller with 43 is almost impossible, but I'm just going to throw them up and put them up as we talk about them. And I have one of 10 posters in existence of this in my basement, so I'm proud to say that. When I moved into this house, I paid Norman a leg for this. It's in perfect condition. And is there anything better than Night Riders with Ed Harris jousting jousting on a motorcycle? So I think this is 80 or 81. Yeah, lady. Until you reach with it synth music. Yeah, well, you know what? Synth music, Skageth, Hawk the Slayer is filled with the pew 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 synth music all over the place.
That was the new hot cool thing in the early 80s.
Yes, Hawk the Slayer with a heart sword, because it had this. Yeah, we'll get to Hawk the Slayer, I promise you, because that's in this era too. This very early era. So George Romero made a movie. George Romero of Creepshow. I think he just passed recently. Stephen King's in this movie. It actually has like 2 lines in this movie. That Ed Harris, I mean, he's a huge actor, right? Is the main character in this movie. And I always said to everyone, is there anything better than Ed Harris jousting on a motorcycle? Well, note that the movie starts and Ed is in a pool of water, like a pond, butt-ass naked, flaying himself. And that's how the movie starts, I guess, for some penance or something. And Ed is king of the Renaissance Fair. That's what the movie's about. Oh my gosh!
I've never seen it. So the concept of jousting, but you going
no
on
horses.
Motorcycles.
They use motorcycles instead.
Okay, so did that work out well?
Didn't work out well.
Or was it a disaster? Kind of, was it a clash of who did it appeal to? People that like modern kind of car chases and stuff like that, or fantasy freaks?
Ren fairs were a huge hit in the early 80s. I used to go to them. I went to them with Tim and Walt all the time. So Ren Fair was a big thing late 70s, early 80s, and I think George Romero just pushed off on this idea.
Yeah, and then he tried to do an action movie, but to Ren Fair with around
this movie is long too. It's like 2.5 hours almost. It's super long for that era. And not a lot happens during a lot of it, but it's set in modern times.
Yeah. Is it a deep movie with some message, or is it
Yeah,
just a
the
cheesy
message
thing?
is that Ed's fighting the system and the world around, and he needs to,
Uh-huh.
and he's
Yeah.
king. His Renaissance fair is his reality. I
Yes.
kind of
So
think.
there is a little bit of depth to it then. It's not just cheesy entertainment or
Yeah. Now
cool. Yeah.
there's a lot of names in this you may not know, but one guy, I forget his name. I think it's Savini,
Mhm.
not Gary Lottie. Tom Savini. He's in the movie. What's the movie where they're in a Mexican and the vampires attack with George Clooney from Dusk Till Dawn? He's in that movie. He's the Italian-looking guy in that movie, if you remember. Tom Savini's in this one too. So you get a little crossover. Yeah, Night Riders is one of those ones you could catch on a late night cable. Oh, because they're going to play it in the middle of the day, because it's really, it's really lacking in class here and quality.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
it's a Romero, and Romero is a huge name in the genre of horror, and
Yeah.
plus Stephen King and him were friends. So literally, if you'll see Stephen King shoving a hoagie down his gullet while he's talking, that's his part, and he's like a fan watching. It's really really crazy. He's got such a small cameo, but it's cool. It's fun. And I have to, just Bill's wife. I had to. One of the reasons I had to get this poster that basement
Mhm.
down there and all the posters. Like I
Yeah.
gotta have the Night Riders. And I was like, oh my god, there's only 10 of them. Yeah. So just hey, what's up, Fraley? Feel free to have fun with this discussion tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is I think as early as it gets as far as the discussion goes is Night Riders itself. And what I classify as cheese. Yep. So we're gonna get to that one next because we're talking 80-81 right now, very very early. And that is the next. This one is a monster. This one holds. A lot of people go, "Well, these movies don't hold up to time." Um, yes, it was. I don't have anything from the 70s and anything from the 2000s, and thank God I don't. You know why? The Dungeons and Dragons movie was year 2000. I don't have to include it in this discussion. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
I got that one in there. Everything you've said except for Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, I have in here. So here we go. I mean, we're talking about there's some huge names in this movie. Helen Mirren is Morgan Le Fay. And like we don't even put two and two together. Excalibur don't even put two and two together about it. Patrick Stewart is in this. He is Guinevere's father.
Mhm.
Um, oh gosh, what's his name? Who's in a ton of these type of movies? Who am I missing, Bill? Liam Neeson's in this. Yes.
Yeah.
Liam
Mhm.
Neeson is
Yeah.
not Boris. He's Sir Gawain in
Yeah.
this too.
But it's cool because it is a kind of fantastic movie in a way. It's kind of esoteric a bit, and but it's cool, and they stay on
Hey,
it's not
Mike.
too cheesy for its time. I think it was a very very serious movie for its
It's
time.
excellent, and I
Yeah.
say it holds up.
Exactly, it does. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not sure what everyone else thinks about
Yeah, it didn't have
Excalibur,
that
but
much action in it though. It's not that many fight scenes and stuff like that. It's more kind of the story moody and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it's not as gory as some of the other ones. So yeah.
It's
So
Mystery.
it's a
You're right.
cool
It's got a
movie.
great visual aspect to
Yeah,
it, and
exactly. It's like a work of art in its way. So
oh,
yeah.
and the gentleman who plays Merlin's got is kind of quirky and funny in
Hmm.
it and all,
Yep.
and yeah, there are remastered versions of this. Now, when I have my wall, and that back wall I have where behind Alan and Bill, I have 13th Warrior. I had the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and then my eyes started popping out, and then then I have Night Riders back there. And then I have a poster Bill gave me of all the great houses of the Knights of the Round Table, which is really cool. So I took down the D&D movie poster dungeon and put up Excalibur, put up that very poster. I got an original. I like originals, so classic before
Yeah.
being as green. He never ridden a horse. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I know he has a scene in the very end of the movie, I think, where he is on that horse, like dead, and they got him tied up and he's riding off. I think that's Gawain.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I did not know that. Well, that's great. Great one there. So yes, the dragon. The dragon is all around, kind of like the Earth Dragon in Greyhawk. It's like, is it a spirit or whatever? And the dragon is kind of almost like the Force it is with Star Wars. It's like Mother Nature, Father Nature itself. So yes, he was Mystery, and we got that up here too. He was just a merc in that one. I think he gets killed in that one too, but better than the Earth Dragon. So Excalibur, great movie. And I got, by the way, I have 43 of these. Yes, I have 43 movies. I don't know how I did it, but I got, yes.
Yeah.
Where there's a whip, there's a way. Yeah, that is. I think
Oh,
that's
so
70s
that's a
though.
good song
That's from The Hobbit.
exactly, the Hobbit
That's
movies.
70s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hobbit 70. Rankin Bass is all 70s. I said, I would even put heavy metal up, but it's really sci-fi genre. And I got a couple on here that are really borderline, but I just put them in for the cheese factor. One of them is one of Bill's favorite lines. Come and kiss me something, right, Bill? I got that movie up here, so here we go. So the other one that this is one of my all-time favorites, and the first time I ever saw this was at Tim's house. This movie. Uh, I forget, Tim, if we knew it was on Prism that time or you had it on VHS. Do you remember, Tim, which it was? Like I said, Tim, Bill, you're both free to come on here if you so choose to share in this discussion, and that is the wonderful Hawk the Slayer.
Oh, haven't seen that one.
Hawk is Jack Palance is the bad guy in this.
Uh-huh.
So, Jack Palance is a huge name in a ton of movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yeah, he's called Hawk. I have a character named Hawk who I had actually, I think, before I watched this movie, the ironies of it all. A lot of people think I named him after this, but I did not. It must have been VHS rental. Tim, I remember that's where I saw it. We had a party, we had a watch party at your house for Hawk the Slayer. Note some things about this. It's got that futuristic sci-fi synthesizer music that they were talking about earlier. Pew pew pew, all through this, which is really weird.
It was the hot, cool thing back then. So,
yes, yeah. Zoltan. That was his name. Yep, Zoltan was and his face is all mangled. Zoltan's and John Terry is the actor who plays Hawk. John Terry was known for daytime soap operas in the U.S., and he had a bit role in Full Metal Jacket. He is the lieutenant or captain of the news service, and he goes in the rear with the gear. That's John Terry. Look it up. So, yeah, burnt by Hawk's wife. Yeah, Hawk's. Were they married at the time, Canadian, or were they engaged? I think they were engaged, and there was a love triangle thing. Jack Palance is good. He's always been a good bad guy. He's a bad guy in Young Guns too. He gets shot at the very end of Young Guns. But this movie, if you look at it, the elf Crow talks very monotone like this. I guess he didn't know how to talk, right? The dwarf the dwarf and the giant. All they do the entire movie is they eat the entire movie, and they don't do anything else. They sit at a table and eat the whole time. The plot is very thin. Yeah. So.
But is it? It's a lighthearted, entertaining kind of action-filled movie. I take it.
Yeah, it really is, and it's
not like Excalibur. But
no,
way more action and fun scenes and cheesiness and.
But it covers. They're watching D&D because they got Hawk.
So is it a true fantasy movie, or is it kind of sort of
Roger.
modern stuff mixed in?
It's fantasy. It's fantasy genre. Okay. They have Hawk. And he's got the heart sword, and you can see in that picture that there's a rock, and Jack Palance kills his father. He won't give it to him, and he puts it. The hand opens up, puts the rock in, it gives him all his powers. Hawk's throwing that thing around like daggers and stuff. And then they have a giant who's got a maul. They have a blind sorceress. They have an elf with a bow, Crow, and then they got a dwarf. They got a full adventuring party there. So. Yes, and Crow's the last elf, supposedly, which is pretty neat. Yeah, the witch is the sorceress, who's basically summons them all to back and all. It's fun. It's just a fun movie, and I think it's on Amazon Prime right now. I think that's what everyone said. Crow could kick Legolas's butt any time, I think. But like I said, Crow is really his acting is very it's very funny when you look back and you analyze the whole thing. But
Oh,
so these are the earliest 3 movies, I think, from 80, 81. Yeah. The dwarf may be the last 2. Was there a cleric? No, long shot. There was not a cleric at all. There was the monastery women, but I don't know if they were healers or anything. But they were always stabbing him in the back as it was. So
I have one early that was huge in Europe, and they actually showed it on TV in
what was it?
several countries in every New Year's, and that was Ivanhoe, made in '82. They made the original Ivanhoe in 1952, I think, or 58. And then they made one. I think it's a European American. It's a lot of American men, British and French.
Is that the one where it's all about the Saxons versus the Normans for the most part, and they joust each other? And
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a kind of medieval movie, but when I loved it as a fantasy movie because it was tournaments and sword fighting and all that.
I missed that one too.
Yeah.
No,
that is.
I remember watching that like once or twice when I was a kid, and I remember the Normans were all the bad guys, and the Saxons.
Yeah, exactly. Saxons were the good guys.
The one Saxon noble was adult. Do I remember that correctly? He was kind of like, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to joust or whatever.
No, that was Athelstan. Yeah, that
was it Athelstan? Okay.
He was the old hero from the back in the day, but he was so bad that he didn't want to risk it, so he never said, I'm fighting.
Yeah, he's just eating and drinking the whole movie too,
exactly.
if I recall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Robin Hood is in the movie.
Yes, Robin Locksley, right?
He's a Saxon. Locksley. He's a Saxon lord that lives in the forest, and like he's supposed to. So I loved the movie. It was awesome because it had fighting scenes and So
well, that's cool. I remember that too.
Watching. Yeah, it's worth watching. I think it's on some of the streaming services nowadays. So if you like knights and tournaments and stuff, it's worth, and medieval fighting, it's worth watching, definitely.
No, there was a remake of Ivanhoe that Anna's talking about that was in the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah. The original was made in 50 somewhere. This was made in 1982. Yeah.
Another one from the 60s you can get that's a big one's Alfred the Great. And oh my God, Gandalf. Ian McKellen's actually in Alfred the Great, and it's really, really hard to find. Sometimes Turner Classic Movies has it on. So Ivanhoe's worth watching. Sam Neill, that's it. Sam Neill, yes,
exactly. Sam Neill as the the Knight Templar, and also there is hang on a second. There is Sam Neill and. There's a bunch of others. The one that plays in John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies?
Yeah, he's in there too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So there's a whole bunch. It's a British American. Was made for TV right away, so it never went to the big screen.
All right, so look, that's 2. I missed Robin Hood with Kevin Costner and the Ivanhoe one, which I would say definitely classifies. I did not put any of the. Robin Hood Men in Tights, no, that would not make it here either. So I'm trying to do this in time frame. I'll probably miss a bunch because once I get past 81, and I know the real early ones. I know Conan's like 82, isn't it? So Conan was Dragon Slayer's early too, 83. So I think so as well. But I
didn't see Dragon Slayer until in the 90s. The first, I missed that one in the beginning, but I saw Conan on when he came on the movies. So
yeah. So this is Schwarzenegger's big movie, right?
He's done a lot of. Also, Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
I was going to say, it's also a very D&D movie, especially not the first one so much, but the later ones, because they were a party. They were clearly like a monk, a sorcerer, or wizard. And so they got very D&D inspired in the later version, later movies. The first one, not so much, I think. It was just a cool fantasy action thingy. But then they got more heroic fantasy. Yeah.
Oh, Red Sonja is definitely in here. Conan the Destroyer is very D&D. Yeah. It is. Conan the Destroyer is, and you'll see through the scroller.
Yeah.
After Conan the Barbarian, you'll note I could not find any poster without just Arnold on it for Destroyer. They don't put anyone else on the posters.
Yeah, exactly. He became such a star from that movie that he sold the rest of the movies combined.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, trust me, you'll see through the scroller. I got a picture of Olivia Dabo standing next to Arnold because I had a thing for Olivia Dabo back in the day because she was in a lot of those cheesy other '80s movies
Yeah.
after Conan the Destroyer. So she's my Joanne Wally to Bill. But note that Sandal Bergman is the Valeria, Conan's, love or whatever in this first movie.
Yeah.
She gets killed right by the seeking arrow
Hmm.
from
Yep.
Tulsa Doom. Now, when I'm a kid, them eating like the human body parts and stuff in that one scene, that's pretty gross, right? It's really
Yeah,
gross.
but
The soup. Ugh.
I kind of liked Conan, especially the first one. I liked the wild kind of that because that was fantasy to me. It was like it's not polished.
Yeah,
Ivanhoe
Dark
was
Sun.
cool because that was one side of fantasy, but the Conan was cool because it was the other side of it. So I just thought that Conan was too dumb to be successful. And he remedied that later on, so to speak, because then in the beginning he was played too much as a dumb brute, and I didn't like that. That didn't appeal to me at the beginning, but I liked it the
Oh, I did
later
find one.
yeah, the later ones I
So
actually
Conan,
liked.
there are some others on there, but they're too small, right? Conan Destroyer, because you had Wilt Chamberlain in this movie, right? And he's
Yeah,
really need
yeah,
his acting skills
yeah.
were not up
And
to
it
par.
Yeah, but they're also good cinematography in them. They're cool environments. They're well produced for its time and stuff. So yeah, they made an effort. And I also like Conan movies because they take fantasy serious enough, so to speak.
Right.
Not overly serious, but serious enough. So for its time, I think they were really cool fantasy movies. Really, really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. They got the thief guy in the second movie. He always played a little bit of a jester type in all movies he did, right?
Yeah.
And then,
Mhm.
but it was, there at least was a storyline to him.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you so he did both Conans, and then so let me knock these off here. Remove, make sure I remove the right thing. I don't remove like you, because so and then you go to his third D&D type movie and Red Sonja, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
which is Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah, I missed that one. I haven't seen that one, and I should definitely see it because yeah, it's a
Tim,
scene
I
from
don't
time.
doubt that. That makes sense. That was your. What was his name? What was the thief's name in that? He swallows the gem too in the one scene. Red Sonja is really a different type of movie
Okay. Yeah.
because Arnold's not the main character, right? He's like a side character in this. Um, Trying to find the 2011 Conan. Yeah, that's the, the kind of the remake or redo.
Yeah, but that wasn't too bad. When I watched it, it was like it wasn't too bad for a movie. It was well made. It wasn't like wow cool, but it wasn't too bad. I
Hold,
kind of
well,
yeah.
hold on to that, Rob, because I have both of the Conan modules. You know how much money they are? Well, and this is another thing. I said the silver edition books at the Allied Hobbies store. I could have gotten them for like $12.50 each. Now they're worth hundreds of bucks. Those Conan modules in like pristine condition are worth like $100 each now. Because and I imagine the Red Sonja one is too. I don't own the Red Sonja module. I own the two
I
Conan
didn't even know
modules.
that came out.
Oh
That
yeah,
was the
D and
Red
D made
Sonja.
both of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
two
Mhm.
Conans and a Red Sonja. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. Well, he's actually the head priest of the church, if I recall correctly. Mystery. He is not. He's not Conan. He's the head priest of their church.
uh-huh.
Uh,
Maybe
uh,
they
uh,
didn't have the license, so they couldn't call
yeah,
him Conan, but they wanted to or something.
yeah. So Red Sonja was a character from the Conan books, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and both
Also,
were comics before they made them
yeah,
into movies, right? I think
yep.
so because I remember seeing both Red Sonja comics and Conan comics when I was a kid somewhere.
So the evil sorceress is Sandal Bergman from the first Conan movie. So that's two appearances for her.
Ah, so that yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
I have a third one. Um, are you ready? This is one of my sleepers. Okay, this is one of the. I'll say, if you want to be entertained on how bad this movie is, Tim knows which one's coming up because I think it's one of your dad's. Your dad has always said this. It is terrible. Yes, yes, Dorgam. She
Oh God.
She and so this is yes, it's Sandal Bergman. Now Sandal Bergman looks great in it, right? But this movie is post-apocalyptic slash D&D, and you just never
Okay.
know what direction this movie is going in. It is.
But I guess judging just I never seen it, so just judging from the poster, I don't think that mattered much, so to speak. That was not the idea. That the idea of the movie was not to have a plot or anything like that. If you have that poster, you're not selling it as a plot. You're selling it, and it probably very successful in other terms, so to speak.
If you can watch this, I mean, it is real. It
Yeah.
is post future, so it's kind of like
Okay.
a
Yeah.
Thunder the Barbarian type, where there may be
Yeah.
some technology mixed in, but it's D&D based.
But in a way, it's cool because there's so many fantasy or like role playing games that have that theme now. So they were really ahead of their time. So yeah,
Yeah.
by 25, 30 years. Yeah.
And there's this at the end of the movie. There's this dude who guards this bridge, and if you cut a limb off of him, he multiplies. And there's like 10. It's really
See,
just oh my
that's
gosh.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
Yes.
I never understood the plot, and there's just cults thing. With there's like they have
I
no
guess it
men in their
was made
society.
for
It's just weird.
it was
That's
made
all.
for teenagers by predominantly the male gender to
Exactly.
appeal to. So yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Dorgrim as well. I so far from all the ones you put down, I've only missed 2 movies so far, and that's Robin Hood and Ivanhoe. So
Uh-huh.
so far
Yeah.
so good. All the other ones you've
Yeah.
mentioned, but yeah. So if you really want to have an entertaining bad time for one
Yeah.
night, you have 2 hours to kill. Find
Yeah.
She and watch it. Like you may
Okay.
like it
Yeah.
because it's so bad. It might be
Mhm.
funny. It's
Yeah.
like it's
They
it's like
didn't have
watching.
yeah, the ambition was not to be serious. The ambition was
Yeah.
to do something that was fun and entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like watching a gnome named Norm. And oh, by the way, there's my picture of Olivia Dabo standing next to Conan. I have
Hmm.
standing next to Arnold, so I had to have that. So Michael, what's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Good to see you. We're having some fun with this discussion. So
Yeah. But now I had to bring in one movie more from the 80s
sure.
that I saw that I'm pretty sure that I know that probably never made it across America. And that's When the Raven Flies. That is called, it's an Icelandic movie, and it's called
Icelandic.
Flygur in Icelandic, or the Korpenflyger in Swedish. And it's a movie. It's more like Ivanhoe or something. It's a medieval kind of early Viking drama from Iceland with a lot of killings and shootings and stuff like that. So it's kind of Icelandic Viking action movie, but not cheesy. It's serious, so to
When the
speak.
Raven Flies.
Yeah, When the Raven Flies. Yeah.
Is it available on like Netflix or anything?
I'm not really sure. I found the trailer, so I wouldn't be surprised. The trailer. Let's see here if it's available. I can hang on a second here. So I can find the
Yeah, I remember the Robin Sherwood's BBC
yeah,
series there. That
yeah.
was
But
actually not
if you
bad.
yeah, so if you want to have like a barbarian style kind of, that was fun. I remember that was the cool. And I remember one thing, they talk about Thungur Knivur, and that means heavy knives or big swords. and so that one is from 84.
Anna,
So
one sec. I got a son request here. So keep on
okay, yeah.
talking about. I'll be
Yeah.
right back. One sec.
Yeah. So the Raven Flies, or yeah, that was a kind of a bloody drama full of revenge and all sorts of stuff. So that was, and the atmosphere was cool. And not all of it is filmed in Iceland. Some of it was filmed probably in other parts in Northern Europe because there are forests and stuff in it. But that is probably accurate because back in the Viking era, there were forests on Iceland, according to some biologists and archaeologists and stuff. But nowadays they cut them down, so now they're trying to replant them. So that is an interesting movie. I think I'll see if I can try and watch it again. I watched it a couple of times back then, and then there was a second one made 5 or 6 years later, maybe in 1990 or 91 or something. Yeah, I think so, Tim. I think that was based on dramas and stuff from both
Sorry about that.
maybe not so much the sagas, but it was made from Icelandic stories back in the day of feuds between different families and stuff like that. That's kidnapping, and so it's a bit like a Greek drama played out on in Viking times, so to speak. So I remember it was cool because it was kind of a raw, brutal, kind of fantasy-esque movie
Don't
back then, but we didn't have that many, so that was one of the that I remember.
I don't have Fire and Ice either down on that one, so it's another one I do not have. So
Yep.
all right. Oh, mid 80s. Nice and pulpy, Dorgam. I'll have to check that one out. Someone put a link up to that.
Yeah,
That would be great.
I have a link to it here.
Let me see here.
It's on an Icelandic site, but here's a link to where you can.
So the next two. Yeah. Let's do this one. This so it's up now, and that is. Oh my God! So I think this ruined Chris Makepeace's career. So Chris Makepeace.
Oh yes.
Is in My Bodyguard, and he's in Meatballs, and he's in these movies, and then he decides I'm going to do a D&D movie with this guy named Tom Hanks. Right?
Yeah, but that was the movie that was about that book that led to the crazy scare, religious scare and stuff.
Hey,
with the book that the guy that got lost under the school.
Yeah,
isn't that a movie about that story? That
yes. Yeah, and
I've never seen the movie, but I remember the story around it.
Tom Hanks's character goes a little bit insane, and thinks he's in a reality. And I know Gary Julian linked a thing of him fighting a troglodyte, which is actually like a mugger or something, and he stabs the guy in real life, and he can't tell reality from you know. But yeah, so this is I mean, it's still it's like it's really cheesy, but hey, you know,
was it made to be an anti D&D movie? Was that was the whole point, and it was financed that way? And
absolutely, it was.
Tom Hanks was not being anti.
No, he just it's a role back then, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it definitely was just a role, and. So, but you know, they all and then they LARPed though. They were LARPers.
Yeah.
So this is the first. You know,
people, the general public didn't know the difference.
No, the live action role players were out and about in this one. So we can look back and laugh at it. That is exactly it.
Now we can. Yeah.
That is exactly it. So what a. It's early and it's funny, and now I imagine it's like some of these movies, you know, people, and I know the one. Let's do it while we have cheese on this. Here's another one. Someone now, Josh Pop Zarathon's arguing with me, saying this movie is great, and I'm like, this movie is terrible. That's my opinion, but Timothy Robbins is never going to live down being Eric the Viking. Okay.
I think I skipped that one, but I've heard about it.
Oh my gosh. Eartha Kitt's in it. You know, the cat.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be is it just complete silliness? Or...
Exactly.
That's what I've heard about it. So
It's like a spoof on like for its time.
Yeah,
and
but
Eric was so good.
yeah.
It made me laugh once or twice. I had a couple good jokes.
Yeah, but it's I can definitely want to. That's something I should watch it. Back then I was way too serious. Now I can actually see things like what it is. Back then I couldn't. I wanted to see overly serious things.
Yeah, it is not good. What's it say up there? You can fight the gods and still have a good time.
Yeah, that says it all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a funny one. But yeah, that is. I don't even know what time frame this is. My guess is 86, 87. That's a guess.
Okay.
Now remember, Timothy Robbins is the guy Merlin in Top Gun. He's the back.
But he's a good actor. So
but back then he's doing bit parts. He's got like 2 lines in Top Gun, right, from 86.
Yeah.
So you know. Eric Viking's good small parts.
Yeah,
the Cloak of Invisible. The Cloak of Invisibility only worked for Christians though. It was something like weird like that. Yeah. So, she's a kid. You dressed up as Eric the Viking, Naz? Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Really? Oh man, that is That is funny. Oh my gosh! Wow. So crazy, but yeah, I watch it at your own. Watch it. Watch all of these.
Yeah.
Watch all of these. The Last Unicorn. No, I'd never heard of it. That sounds like legend, Canadian. Yeah.
I would say
I
that
don't
The
have The
Last
Last
Unicorn
Unicorn.
sounds like something that comes on Pornhub or
I've
something.
watched The Last Boy Scout, but not The Last
Okay.
Unicorn. So
Okay. Yeah.
that was a wow. Never. It was also animated. Oh, it was animated by Rankin Bass. Okay, that's why.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Dungeon Master to pop up here on the list. All right. So here's some good ones. Okay, from this early mid '80s era. I got a couple here, and you've probably seen this one scrolling through. Like I said, I got them all scrolling through, but Lady Hawk, right?
Oh yes, Lady Hawk. I loved Lady Hawk when it came out. Yeah, it was. I loved. It was a true fantasy story, and I just loved it. And there was a lot of cool scenes, and it was also very well produced. The scenes were fantastic. The photography was top notch, and yeah,
great movie.
Back in the day, it was as well produced as Lord of the Rings were in the 2000s.
Great story because it was cool. Like they couldn't. One was a a hawk, and the other one was a wolf at different times, and they could never cross and see each other.
Yeah, and also the casting was perfect. Howard and Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Broderick, they were perfect for their roles, so to speak.
Yep.
So, and I love that when he escapes from the prison in the beginning, I'm never going to steal anything ever again, and it was a lot of cool scenes and stuff. So I love the mood of the film. There was not enough fighting in it though. That was it. It was much more moods and it's a bit like Excalibur in that way. It's not too over the top action movie. It's more deep, takes itself seriously and tell the story rather than have a lot of fighting scenes in it.
Philip the Mouse was my PC template for years. Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Very deep.
It's a love story, Dorgrim, so you got to be sappy.
Exactly. It's a love story. It's set in a fantasy world with awesome production and stuff.
The music's been wacky during the '80s at all. It's all synth. If you ever watched the going on the music groups, Rush was overly synth in the '80s after after Free Will and all that.
Yeah.
And it just the synth was done too much.
Compare it to all the horrible movie music and TV music we had in the '70s. It was actually a step up.
Oh man, definitely, that is so true. So
yeah, that was a good one. Lady Hawk was fantastic. I think.
And we're still in the '80s. We got a lot of '80s ones.
Yeah,
we're
like mid '80s. Yeah.
This one. Oh, is it D&D? Maybe, but it's awesome, right? Princess Bride.
Oh yeah, Princess Bride it's kind of D&D, but it's a saga, and and I love it because it's comical in a wonderful way, so to speak, not in a cheesy way. It's both serious and fun at the same time, kind of weird, and yeah. And it's so cheesy, but they don't do it because they do a bad movie. They do it deliberately.
So for any of you who will, oh, you know what? Let's pause 10 seconds. We have a $25 gift certificate for Troller Games.
Okay.
To give away. I will set it up because I forgot because I always. Yeah. I've been forgetting a lot lately. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not anything serious. I'm just kidding. For me, but this should work here. And I'm going to give away. I'm going to give away this too. So we got special sponsor. We're going to do a second thing. In order for cheese, I'm going to give away a cheese. Thanks, Canadian. These are one of the ones you've given to me, but this is a reprint. I'm going to give away a cheesy D&D module. We're going to give away Dungeon Land.
Oh, I was thinking there was a WG7.
I can't do that to everyone. We'll do Dungeon. We'll do Dungeon Land instead.
That's too bad. Yeah, that was too bad. Yeah.
So
Dungeon Land, that's a good choice. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, we'll do Dungeon Land first, and then if you don't want it, then we'll, because that way we don't have the the Canadian issue, which we've kind of avoided for the most part. Things are going well with giveaways.
Yeah.
Thank you all for participating. Yeah, but there you go. So, Princess Bride.
It's a cult movie. It's become a cult movie. People talk about it and watch it over and over and over again, and it's became a phenomena.
Peter Falk's one of my favorite. I love Columbo. So much so that my wife doesn't get me loving Columbo, but I love Columbo even when I was a little kid. Those late night movie
and
series.
it's both well done and silly. Meaning those fighting scenes are among that movie legend, and still it's silly, and the swamp with the rodents of unusual size or something like and they have these kind of it's
flames
cheesy and flames. It's cheesy, but it's done with style and a thoughtfulness and stuff. So and a lot of wonderful acting in it too.
I do not think this word means what you think it means. Yes, Mandy Patinkin was great with his dialect with Andre the Giant, and Terrazon Fezzik. Oh, this gig key. There was all sorts of great one-liners in there, and then Billy Crystal and I'm sorry, what her name shows up as the weird troll-like people and stuff. The healer guy. Yeah, they're the healer guy. He's mostly dead, so. It is, Skagit.
Yep.
So I had to put that one in there.
Definitely.
80s.
And it is fantasy. So definitely fantasy.
Yeah, but they do reference some
Inconceivable.
Modern, yes. Inconceivable. He's done a ton of things, that guy. Lots and lots. All right, let's do another decent one with really good. One of my favorites of all time. With the worst sequel of all time.
Uh-oh.
Highlander.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This movie was unbelievably awesome. Just unbelievably fantastic.
And then
the original Highlander is like top 10 or 5 even D&D movies of all time, the style. The story was exactly. The story was wonderful. The concept was great. Sean Connery's in this movie. We got Sean Connery in 3 movies we're going to discuss tonight, by the way, which is really amazing when you think about it. And it was like, wow, they're fighting with swords, and there's a wrestling match going on at the very beginning, and then there could be only one movie. Yeah, exactly. But they had TV shows. They had The Raven. They had all sorts of stuff years after this. Show after show after show. They just never ended it. They should have. They should have made this movie not end the way it did, and then maybe they could have done sequels after that, but they didn't realize how popular it was going to be. But, the McLeods, and, everyone made who did not make a McLeod D&D character? I know Tim had one, Connor McLeod the Merciful. I remember him specifically. I bet you all made a McLeod D&D character. And if you didn't, you're probably lying to me. Or you made a Kurgan character. So... Happy Halloween, ladies. That's what he says.
Yeah, I never liked the movie because it was set in partially modern times.
Yes.
And I didn't like that bit, so to speak. But otherwise, it was really cool.
So, Rob, this is where he was a Spaniard. He was Egyptian, but he was the chief metallurgist to the King of Spain. So he dressed up like a Spaniard. I think that was the whole point, because he's not going to dress up like an Egyptian 2,000 years later.
Connery, and he pulled it off. That's kind of amazing. Yeah.
If John Wayne could play a Mongol, exactly, Bobcat, exactly. So there's some, Burn Out That Fade Away is one of the great one-liners of all time. In fact, Tom used it during Thursday night's game, because he has Kren, who does all those Kurgan one-liners, his character. So you take a lot of stuff from this movie, which was fantastic. I know I really loved the modern tie-in to it, though, the way they did they went flashbacks and stuff. I thought that was cool. So, oh my gosh, guy, I got so many. And Clancy Brown, this is the first time I ever remember in a movie. I don't think he did the movie Bad Boys with what's his name? Spicoli. Oh, the guy who always won on Academy Awards. What's his name? He played Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Sean Penn. That movie. Clancy Brown was in that movie too, if I recall. I don't know which is first, Highlander or that one. But Clancy Brown is great in Starship Troopers even. right? And he's great in Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah, Starship Troopers was a great
Yeah, he was
movie. I like that. I love that movie.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Yep.
Yeah, and Queen. That's right. Queen's the soundtrack for this movie too. It was
Yep. Yep.
awesome. You're
Yep.
right. Oh my God, and Dickers, you're absolutely correct. What a great, and he's in SpongeBob. I didn't know that, Dave. Yeah, Clancy had a great voice. So, and you'll hear, trust me, during our streams, you'll hear Tom throw these one-liners out from this movie all the time. I guarantee you, if I provoke him, he'll go, let's see if I can say it. I see my cut has improved your voice. He'll say that one from Connery at least once a week or whatever. You get those one-liners. So this movie comes out, and a few years later, we get a whole crew to go to the movies because they're making a sequel. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait. I'm going to say, what the fuck is this? Highlander 2, The Quickening. They're from another planet now? What the hell are they? The planet Zeist? What is this? Right? It's one of the worst movies. It's worse than Caddyshack 2. How do you make a movie that's worse than Caddyshack 2 as a sequel? I don't get it. Michael Irons.
Was it a different production team behind it?
I imagine it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, on the planet Z, yeah. Michael Ironside has taken Clancy Brown's place, and he overacts, and the whole plot makes no sense. And it's all about pollution and global warming because they have the shield around the planet. It's just, one of the most disappointing nights of my life was going to see this movie. I don't know if it has one redeeming quality other than Virginia Madsen's in it. I can't think of another redeeming quality. Can anyone think of a? Can you? Yeah, can't make a worse movie. I could have come up with a better title just by randomly rolling dice and using using a Rose Estes book and reading from it and telling a story. It would have been better. Worse than yeah, exactly, Mike. It was worse than Caddyshack 2 as a sequel. I can't think of a worse thing. So. Yeah, but that's what happens when you want to cash in on a good movie and you don't have good people writing it. Now the third one, I didn't even put that in because oh
my God, even worse than the second?
No, it wasn't. But it had oh gosh, I forget his name. The guy from Heartbreak Ridge is the bad guy. He's pretending to be Kurgan, and then the wizard from Mako or whatever his name is, the wizard from Conan is in that movie, and it's just bad. So Mary Van Peebles, that's it, Troy. Mary Van Peebles is in the third one. So I was like, 2's enough to put up one here.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, I recommend this movie. It's a little cheesy, but let's do the third Sean Connery movie. A lot of people have never Stitch Jones. Yes, I've used that. The Ayatollah of Rock and Roll, Bobcat. I used him as a D&D character. I'll say it in a second. The whole thing he says. All right, Sword of the Valiant. All right, ready? Wait.
I missed that one.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Bobcat? Here it goes. I actually called it. I had a D&D character with this title: the Earl of Funk, the Duke of Cool, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll, Stitch Jones. See?
Wow.
I remember. That's a great. Heartbreak Ridge is a great movie, and it's a war movie, and it's got Clint Eastwood in it and all. But yeah, Stitch. Yeah, that's Mary Van Peebles. But this movie is like offbeat because they didn't play it a lot, and so we get 3 Miles O'Keefe movies. This is the first one of 3. But Connery is the Green Knight and shows up, and I believe they cut his head off. You're now one swing. They cut his head off, and he walks over, picks up his head, and puts it on. And then he has a year, or he gets his swing back. Is that how it goes? And then, or Miles O'Keefe's character, which is Gawain, will die. It's Sir Gawain in the Green Knight story, and it's pretty interesting. Hey, Gordo. So it's good. it's good. And this is Sean Connery is like, why is he doing this movie? You know, I can see the original Highlander. I think this is before Highlander or right at the same time. Peter Cushing, that's right. Peter Cushing's in this. Yeah, it's cool in it. Yes, there's a lot of big names. So Krull, Going gets a year to solve the riddle. That's exactly it. Um, yeah, but watch it if you can watch this one. I recommend this over Highlander 2 to quick any day. So, but we're still in the 80s, and there are your three Connerys. Now, I will admit, for my three Miles O'Keefe movies, he did Zardoz. Oh my gosh, I don't have that one down on the list. Wow. I have two Miles O'Keefe movies.
Okay.
I saw parts of one, and the third one, I have no idea where. I saw the poster and I pulled it up. Hey, it's a Miles O'Keefe movie. So the second Miles O'Keefe movie is Ator, right? A magical power was destined to fight at his side, and look at that. He's got a three-balled flail, perfect for D&D.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and this is mid '80s, and one of those bad.
Well, you can kind of tell they have no clothes. They have a little beast on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
All the hole marks, like from She or something. So yeah,
it's probably and it's probably Beastmaster-esque because Beastmaster had the Black Panther, which is really cool. And by the way, we'll get to the Beastmaster. So fighting Eagle. Yep. There's a lot of neat things, but I don't know. I remember watching this, but I don't remember much of Ator.
I never heard
Horseman,
of it before.
yes, but the Rod of Flailing in old school D&D is one of the most imbalanced weapons there is, and one of Bill's characters has it. In fact, in that group, Anna, that you played in the first time with Mike Disney, and he had Sorsha, who's named after Sorsha from Willow, right? So there you go. There's the tie-in. So Bill has all sorts of Joanne Wally tie-ins, but But the Rod of Flailing is a nasty, nasty weapon. And if you remember, one of the nastiest weapons in Baldur's Gate 2 is a four-headed flail, which I think you can even do to 5 heads of all different elements and stuff. It's the Flail of the Ages. So, did we talk Excalibur yet? Yes, we did, Andicarus, but we can always go back. I had a ranger in the back there with 2 ferrets, Kodo and Podo. Yeah, well, there you go, right from Beastmaster. We'll get, and like I said, we'll rotate through on here. Now, this movie, I gotta find it. Did I put under the last Miles O'Keefe movie? I've never heard of before. I know I have it here. Have anyone ever heard of this? The Blade Master. Warrior, magician, hero, thief. They called him the Blade Master. It looks almost like the same freaking.
I was just going to say that one is the most cheesy. Yeah.
But I was like, it's rated R. There you go. So there's gonna be a lot of nudity in it. But it's Miles O'Keefe again.
I'm just fascinated how he holds the sword in his right hand.
It's
so telling. Is like, come on.
You got Miles O'Keefe all over, and I saw it's like, oh my god, another Miles O'Keefe movie. I've never seen this one, so if someone has seen this.
I don't think I will ever see it. If I saw that poster, I don't think I would see it.
So there's a third one. So it had to be 80s because so
he's multi-classed, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I found one that no one has seen. So there you go.
Yeah.
The Blade Master. So someone Tubi. Okay, that's good to know, Dorgam, because I may go if I ever get free time, and watch some of them. Still have 80s. Most of these movies are 80s, but we have a couple in the 90s. All right, now I'm going to show one. It is a sequel, Bobcat. Okay, there you go. So it's the same character.
Wow.
All right, I did not know that. Yes, that's 90s Antiquitous. But the other one that's up right now is post-apocalyptic, but it's got Patrick Swayze in it.
Oh,
Steel Dawn. Okay.
Steel Dawn. Yeah. I'd never seen that one.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
So Steel Dawn, and his wife is the other is like the main other character, his real life wife at the time.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Oh,
and it's like they're in a wasteland and there's no weaponry. It kind of reminds me of that movie, TV show they had just recently where they had all the kung fu, but they had no guns, right?
uh-huh.
I forget what
Yeah.
that was called on AMC. That was on after Walking Dead. Um,
But
yes,
as I said, the poster looks like there is a little bit more seriousness to this one than the previous
yeah,
one.
it's
So,
like
yeah.
they live in a post-apocalyptic world, and he's like the guardian. Turns
Yeah.
out, and he's going to protect them all from all the bandits and all the It's
Yeah.
kind of like a Road Warrior-esque style movie, but there's no gunnery in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
This world
yeah,
full of mullets, like
exactly. And like I said, we got
yeah,
a
the
movie
real
here
programming.
with
Yeah.
sand ships. Yes, I believe there were sand ships, and they had sails.
Okay.
Yeah, the cars had air power. You're right.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a live action Thundar the Barbarian, and I think that's the direction they were going. Thank you, Patrick, for that
Hey.
gift to Gordo sub gift. Thank you
Cool.
so very much. There you go. But another another fun one. Live action Steel Dawn. All right, I still got a ton. I got like 43 of them.
Oh yeah, we have another hour. So,
We're good. All right, so
yeah.
this movie got renamed. This one
After release or
after release, yes,
wow.
and it had a long name. I love Thundar. Too bad it was only on one season. That's the thing. When you're a kid, you don't realize that a lot of the cartoons you loved were one season, and they just played reruns of it forever and ever. I'll give you an example. Well, the original Scooby-Doo had 2 seasons, but Thundar the Barbarian's 1 season. The Josie and the Pussycats was 1 season. That was it. And then they did some goofy Josie in outer space or something, because just one season for a lot of your favorite cartoons when you're a kid. All right, I lost this one. This one got changed, and it had original Battlestar Galactica 1 season, and it cost too much to make. So, yep. Here is this one's called The Archer and the Sorceress, but then it got called Archer something against the. It was a made for. If it came out in the theaters, what was the name of this one? The Archer, and then Fighter Against the Empire, or something like that. So this one had a big amount of Fugitive from the Kingdom. Thank you, Dorgram. That's it. The Archer, Fugitive from the Kingdom. So is what it was called and made for TV. So.
It looks cool.
Yeah, and I liked it because, oh my gosh, it was kind of Hawk the Slayer like with the Archer. He was like really good at using the bow and all. And then I saw it like once. I haven't seen it since. I probably saw this in like 85, 86. I have not watched it. Has anyone seen that? Seen the Heart Bow? Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, the Heart Bow. I remember that. Bobcat got it. Yeah. Yep. Archer, Fugitive from the Empire. That is it, definitely. So it played a lot on TV, and then that kind of disappeared. Is it? No, it is not, Tim. Not at all. It has nothing to do with that one, which we're going to show shortly. So Wizards is 70s, Yeti. So that's why it's not on here. Close. But Wizards, like I said, I should have put Heavy Metal on here in honorarium because I love that movie. In fact, the first fundraiser, we got our fundraiser coming up in 2 weeks, and the first fundraiser I did was the orb of dragon kind, and we had an orb, and I was thinking Lochnar, right? Heavy Metal, kind of very similarly, where we'd have all different stories about it. So, and that was kind of the whole idea behind it, and but yeah, so there you go. And there's not a lot of D&D movies in the 70s. I think, we got either Excalibur or Knight Riders are the first ones we discussed.
Fantasy was not around
right.
in the 70s. It was barely
it was with Bakshi, right? Ralph Bakshi did Wizards, and he did The Hobbit, and he did a lot of stuff that was that early. So Fire and Ice is 80s, I believe, Michael, early 80s. So Bakshi did some good stuff. And I just dropped my eraser. Hold on here. All right. So what have not we discussed? We got a bunch here still. All right. All right. Let's get a musical one done.
Oh, the Labyrinth. Yeah. Fantasy costume drama kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bakshi did Wizards too, and Wizards was and did Fritz the Cat, which is the first X-rated, X X-rated, animated movie. So, Labyrinth. I had to put it up here. I
Oh
just
yeah, but
did.
they made it. Netflix has a sequel now, or is it a prequel? I forgot which to Labyrinth.
Is it
I think so. Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep.
There's a Labyrinth RPG. I knew that mystery, but I did not
Okay.
know if it was
Yeah.
based
Hang
on
on a
it.
second. I'll
Come on. Bowie's
I can
cool
find
though.
it.
I'm sorry. Bowie has always been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Bowie was definitely. Oh, Ranger. There's number 3. There's one.
That's the one. I'm sorry. The
Dark
Dark
Crystal.
Crystal
I
was
missed
the
it.
one I was thinking. Yeah,
I
Dark
missed it.
Crystal is the one. Yeah,
I
that's the one
missed
with
that.
the prequel on Netflix or sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I missed that one. I apologize, but I have something
they're very similar in style.
I have this. I have this, which is just as good. I have
Okay.
Time Bandits. Dark Crystal I missed, but we can discuss it.
Dark Crystal is cool.
Yeah.
Dark Crystal is really cool. Yeah.
I did. I missed that one. Okay, I got 43 in here. I got 43. Time Bandits is wonderful. Time Bandits is cool. You know,
That
the
is
Goonies
like,
is cool. Time Bandits is cool. You know, they all have pirate ships, right? So, yeah. What were you gonna say, Hannah?
no, I was saying, isn't that
So Time Bandits had Cleese is in it. Ian Holmes and Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, it's the
Michael Palin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a British comedy group. What's their name?
It's Monty Python.
Exactly, Monty Python. That's the
Connery. Is he in that? If he is, it's a small part. Oh, he is. Oh my God, there's 4 Sean Connery movies. I forgot.
Oh wow. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Dark Crystal is cool. That the Age of Resistance is the
I can't believe I missed that one. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have missed that one.
Yeah. And I think
King
I'm not sure if it was a
Agamemnon.
prequel
Yes,
or a
okay.
sequel, but it's But Dark Crystal was cool. That was really cool. It was like an animated but made full in full studio thing. Yeah, that's a great fantasy movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's a bigger faux pas than Ivanhoe and Robin Hood. It is. Dark Crystal was a big miss on my part. So my bad on that one. But hey, I've gotten.
We got it in the show.
Hey, so all you who weren't on earlier, I went over this. The worst one of all time. If you tell me this is not the worst, but she is the worst. Okay, so we're already on that. If you think one of these that I've shown is worse than she, even Highlander 2 is not worse than she. It's close. But there you go. So, but please let me know if you think that's so far. This gets the vote for the worst movie out of all of them. Canadian. I don't have that one in the scroller as well. I don't have any animateds. I don't know why I didn't go with the animated one. So she wins the loser contest. Tim agrees too there. So Connery was King Richard and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's 5 movies he was in.
Yep.
Yep. And that's the Kevin Costner one. Yep. Can I get the? It does. If you can get past the first 5 minutes, Rob, you think it does? Oh my gosh, they're neck and neck. Mm-hmm. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I don't remember. Lazy. I don't know, but I remember when I was a kid. The Mad Adventures of Rabbi Jacob, but that was a '70s movie, and I was like, I didn't get that at all. But that was on all the time.
Munchausen was, I remember seeing it when I was really, I must have been like 10 years or younger, and it was just weird to me. A guy riding on a cannonball, and was kind of, it was
okay.
That's the only thing I remember of that one. Yeah.
Another one that's kind of D&D Middle Ages one flavor, and that's '70s, is Royal Flash. If you remember that one too.
Nope.
Kind of a little bit of that too. Yeah, an animated one, The Last Unicorn. So Last Unicorn's on our miss on my part because I didn't do any animateds. I don't believe. So you saw that in college, Tim. I've never seen that one. So
I think it's a European.
Yeah. Okay.
Of some sort. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's probably several different versions over the years. Yeah.
You have it on DVD. Cool. All right. This one, a lot of people don't know. I think there's 4 of them. There may even be 5.
Okay.
and that's Beastmaster.
Oh, yeah. I think I've
Mark
seen
Singer.
2. I think I've seen 2 of
Yeah.
them.
Now I like this because the father from Good Times is Seth, right? And he's got the staff, and he's talked about this once. He goes, "Yeah, I'm walking around barely clothed and stuff. I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing in this movie?" So
But it was cool. That was a pure real fantasy movie. A
yeah,
Ranger. Yeah.
yeah. So it was, and Tanya Roberts is in this, which makes it
Mhm.
cool
I
too.
don't remember the story. I just remember vague scenes here
So
and there.
his family gets slaughtered, and the Judd horde kills them all, or whatever. And
Mhm.
then there's the
Yeah.
cult that he deals with, and he's got the Black Panther, which is really cool. She isn't that bad. It's based on a true story. Marie, how's that based on a true story? it's,
Yeah.
it's so terrible. So
Well, there's might be some terrible
Mark
stories, but yeah.
Singer he did V for Victory back then, and all, and yeah. Beastmaster's cool. It's good. V had the
Oh, you mean the
Freddy
TV series
Krueger.
V?
Yeah, there
Oh,
was a
yeah, that
movie. It
was
was
a
a
good
made
one.
for
Yeah.
TV movie first. Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger was Willie in V. V the final battle. Yeah, they stretched that out. They beat that to death. I think V
I think
came
I
out
only
in
saw the first.
'84. Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's a,
think I saw 4 episodes or
yeah.
something, and then there was
Thanks,
supposed to
Derek.
be sequels that I never saw. But
Thank you very much. Um, So Beastmaster had all sorts of sequels to it, and they get worse and worse. Kind of like Revenge of the Nerds. There's like 5 of those, and
yeah.
kind of like Police Academy. There's like 8 of those, and they get worse and worse and worse. Who came first, Beastmaster or Drizzt? Beastmaster came first, I think.
Oh yes,
Oh
yes. I
yeah,
think Beastmaster was out long before
yeah.
Drizzt was in print, so to speak. Yeah.
So we're blessed with a really, really fringe, campy love story, Christians versus Moors, Tanya Roberts movie after Beastmaster, called, I have
Okay.
this poster, Hearts in Armor.
Oh, never heard of it.
Yes. So
Well,
it
it
is.
looks the top image looks very fantasy.
It is
Yeah.
very fantasy, but it is
Yeah.
very, very small scale. So you
Okay.
only ever see 3 or 4 warriors, like a couple on each side.
It was a
I'm going
low
to give you
budget.
a yes. I have a D&D connection name to this movie. So Tanya Roberts see, there's a guy to the left. Now his name is Ruggiero, and I get Ruggiero Blood Moon, my evil like Tulsa Doom like guy from this movie name. And then she's like his sister, and then the other girl is like finds this magical suit of armor and becomes this great knight, and then the guy to the far right is like a good Christian warrior, and there's the one blonde guy who gets killed. It's just like, yeah. Shame Tanya Roberts just passed like what a week or 2 ago. But
Uh-oh.
yeah, so this movie is like a Christians versus Moors thing, and but it's small scale fighting, like 1-on-1. That's all they ever really have in it. So, and there's a weird druid guy roaming around in this movie. Yes, Tulsa Doom versus Tulsa. So, yeah. But there you go. So, Hearts and Armor is the second Tanya Roberts D&D movie that she did, and it's if you can find it, have at it and watch it. So, um, interesting. There's a guy who's dressed up in this bird. One of the Moors is dressed up in a Birdman armor suit. I don't know how he fights in it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
really Rip Torn. Rip Torn just died, and so Rip Torn's from the hometown that my corporate headquarters is in. He grew up in Temple, Texas, and I know he just passed like a month or so ago, or a couple months ago. So there you go. Hearts and Armor. Watch it. So the next movie, I get to bust Bill Stones on. Big one. Big movie.
Oh,
They were going to do a
Patrick Thompson.
sequel. They were going to do a sequel, but I guess Val Kilmer's too ill.
That was huge fantasy when it came out. Yeah.
Willow is big time.
But I remember sitting there waiting the whole movie for the real fantasy and fighting and all that epic stuff to start, and it never really gets off, so to speak.
Yeah, the trolls look weird in it, and the castle.
It was like, I remember being so kind of
no, Gordo, we didn't.
and yeah, and
Well,
then I was a disappointment. So the movie is not that bad. I was just pumped. I thought it would be like a Lord of the Rings kind of thing,
out of the
and
way,
then
Peck. So
it never took off.
Ron Howard likes to use the same people over and over. And Ron Howard always has felt bad from day one that Chuck disappears after the first season of Happy Days, right? So Chuck, the older brother, is Eric in Willow. I guess he figured they'd give him a role here. So yeah, and so Ron Howard uses a lot of the same actors here. Now so Bill has a thing for Joanne Whalley back in the day, and he's got a Sorsha who has a name, and then he's got a character who looks like Sorsha, his Archer character with the same red hair, and yeah, so he's got Sorshas all over the place. With that, apologies as my TV feed's behind the phone. He's watching the phone. Yeah, so absolutely. So this movie, I had a misconception about this for years. Knowing that Ron Howard did this, I always thought that you could never see up close. I thought the two brownies were Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley. I thought that's who they were, and they weren't. You know, they weren't at all. They were two different actors. But I always thought, hey, he put Lenny and Squiggy in it because it looked like them, but they weren't those. So who didn't have a thing for Joanne Wall? Yeah, there you go. So it was perfect back then. Yeah, he just passed a few weeks ago too. So you'll see those all references in our campaign with Willow references. I mean, who doesn't like saying "out of the way, Peck," right? A lot of times, you have refused to accept that. Always thought too about the brownies. Yeah, I wish they had done a sequel. Maybe they will do a remake or a sequel because Ron Howard does stuff.
Talks about it. Yeah, there've been talks about it.
I don't know if Val Kilmer's won for this world for very long. It's the same. Frangine and Rule. That's the name of the brownies. Yeah. I know the one guy was in the Kaiser Sose movie, and he's also one of the lawyers from the Tom Cruise the Tom Cruise when he's the Navy
Jag?
The one Jag's based on. He's the other lawyer. Oh my god, I just watched that too. Shoot, what is the name of that movie? You Can't Handle the Truth. Yeah, he's the other lawyer in that movie, and he's one of the brownies in not Officer and a Gentleman. No. Oh my God. I can't. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, Few Good Men. There, exactly. Few Good Men. He's one of the lawyers in that, and then yep. Thank you. So that fight though, Tim, is kind of cheesy. She turns everyone into pigs, and then Anna was kind of cheesy.
Likes it.
Yeah. What, turning everyone into pigs? Yeah, I was like, oh, but. Then there's kind of some, them sliding down the hill with it, and that's okay.
And there's one we haven't mentioned yet, but I hope we will get to it.
Which one, Anna?
Legend.
I got Legend in here.
Oh yeah, that's what
Tom Cruise.
Legend is a terrible movie with some awesome parts in it. In my opinion.
And it's got Tim Curry in it, and Tim Curry's like one of the best of all time,
but
right?
He has the best portrayed fiend in any fantasy movie ever. I mean, that devil or demon or whatever he's supposed to be is awesome. It's just
it's all getting Unicorn's horn back, the whole movie, right?
And that is so cool. But the rest of the movie is kind of just silliness and not.
If I recall, Legend came out after Top Gun came out, but he had filmed it 2 years earlier. No,
I think it was before Top Gun.
Was it? It was after. It was after All the Right Moves or something like that. It was a big movie. It came out, but he had filmed it earlier.
It was like 5 years before.
No, you haven't, long shot. You haven't missed that.
Yeah,
you have not missed that yet. By the way, we got a ton of Troller Games giveaway goodness coming up this week. A lot because of what I'm running. We'll get to that. Legend was his first movie. I don't think so. Extort. I think All the Right Moves is before that, where he's in the football, and then I think the one where they're all in it, Swayze and all of them are in it, and Matt Dillon's in it, and oh god, The Outsiders. I think The Outsiders is before Legend as well. I'm thinking Taps. Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
Taps. One-liner. It's effing beautiful, man. That's a Tom Cruise line from Taps. So yep. Tom Cruise goes a little crazy in that. So hey, great. Tim Curry plays right. Tim Curry is Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? And he's the original It from that movie. He's a ton of those kind of movies. So Blackadder, yep, lots
Yeah.
of. So Taps was great. Wow, it was just wow. That was a really really disturbing movie when you think about it too. Definitely. So there you go.
Yeah.
So Legend on the list, absolutely. I missed a couple that I apologize for, but I have 43. I got there close. The Shadow. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Alec Baldwin should be afraid of that movie too. Any audiobook read by Tim Curry is amazing. Tim Curry's fantastic. All right, we're gonna get into some. If I don't have any, this one I got three that for some reason lump all together, and they were filmed years apart. All right, this one is a classic of all time, Sword and the Sorcerer. All right, this is a classic. So I watched the TV show Matt Houston back when I was in the 80s because it had Pamela Hensley from Buck Rogers. You remember her? Princess Ardala. And that's one of the reasons why I watched it. And I was like, oh my God, Lee Horsley's the main guy in Sword and the Sorcerer. I never put two and two together. It should have. It should have had a sequel. And Richard Lynch, he's the blonde haired guy, and he's every 70s/80s movie or TV show bad guy. He always played a bad guy in all the sitcoms and detective movies. He had the pocked face and he had the drawn out face. You could see the pictures of him up there, and he's in all those.
Yeah. Now we know where they got the sword and the sword.
Some people died in Sword and Sorcerer. Is that what happened? Oh, I didn't know that.
They have it now. Do we know where the role model for the Sith is? Yeah.
Yeah.
What came in Star Wars like 30 years later or something. Yeah.
Definitely was one of those. It's your atypical movie genre D&D movie from this era, right? Sword and Sorcerer.
I've never seen it, but it looks cool. Yeah.
How he jumps off the cliff and the guy ends up dying. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. They did a sequel Canadian. Oh, did not know that either. But yeah, it's a fun one. All right. Some reason, I don't know why, maybe just because it's the same era, but I get that and I lump it in with this one. It has nothing to do with it, and that's Krull. And that's like almost like a sci-fi feel to this one.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've always assumed it was some sort of science fiction rather than fantasy. Yeah.
Lionheart, the Children's Crusade. I never heard of that one. Never have heard of that one at all. Krull's another one. Liam Neeson's is one of the mercs in this one.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. How dare you call? Hey, what's up, Will? So, this thing, it's hard to explain, but it is definitely an interesting one to watch. So, it's all about the blade, and I forgot there was they had to get into the dome or destroy the dome at the end. I think just that's my memory serving, and the entire movie is that premise there.
Well, we're talking.
Krull would make an excellent campaign. Yeah, it could. Dark Sun, again, Will. What do you think? Dark Sun with some futuristic to it. Save the girl from the alien wizard overlord. There you go.
Yeah, with the original fidget spinner.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Castle teleports is every morning. Very D&D-ish, that's true. Straight up fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
He's just an alien, though. Yeah, we did in Dickerus, but we can always go back to that. I have some pictures on mazes and monsters.
Yeah.
We can always go back and talk about here. I'll just throw up some of my... there's a close-up of Chris Makepeace and Tom Hanks with their figures. Look at the size of those miniatures. They're not D&D minis either.
No, but
they're war game minis.
Yeah, they had to go through, stand and kind of show through the camera, so to speak.
Yeah.
So they were probably.
And they all look. Are they supposed to look serious like that, or like, why am I doing this? Saying that to themselves.
The movie's about a tragedy, so they have to. Not silliness, it's tragedy.
Like I said earlier, this is your first LARPing movie because they aren't. They're more live action role players because they're actually going into the sewers and going around and.
But they sit around the table and play it, so they try to hang out D&D, but it's more about live LARPers. Yeah,
it was. And Tom Hanks did all sorts of. So
he did a lot of weird things when he was young.
What
I guess all actors have to. Bachelor's Party, I think, was the first.
Oh, Bachelor Party was great, though.
That was a good movie. Actually, it was a lot of fun in it. It's a lot.
Tawny Kitaen is in that movie, and and she's a little bit of crazy herself. What is Tom Hanks's first role?
Hilarious in Bachelor Party, but I remember seeing it and it's complete silliness.
Bosom Buddies. That was when they dress up as women, and just they don't even have those all women like places anymore. Anyone know his first role? That's not his first role. He had a bit part in a very popular '70s sitcom where he plays someone's roommate who's like a partier and drunk all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and that he has one scene in 2 scenes, I think, in an episode of Taxi. Back in the where he plays Alex's remember the main character, Alex's roommate from a college flashback. So there you go. Yep. So yeah, he's in the scene of Taxi. All right. If you think of Kroll, what rhymes with Kroll? This is a 90s movie. Kull, the Conqueror.
Never heard of it before.
Kevin Sorbo.
I don't even know who that is.
Hercules from the TV. Yeah, Hercules from the TV show. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I saw that.
I will do that. Will. Yeah, this was bad, but it's Kevin Sorbo, and Kevin Sorbo is in the Mythica movies too, and like he's in all 4. He's got like 3 minutes in all of them, along with Matt Mercer. There you go. So, but that's 2000, so we're not gonna, or 20. That wasn't that long ago. The Mythica movies, and unfortunately, the first 2 of the Mythica movies, in my opinion, were good, and then they got worse and worse. But there you go. So you collected Kull comics. Wow. Kull, the same author as Conan, Rich. I don't doubt that. Okay. I don't doubt that. Yeah. It has a kind of a feel to it. The Hercules redeemed Kevin Sorbo. Did it really? Kull preceded Conan.
Oh, wow.
Did not know that. So thank you for telling me that. I would have never known that. So, okay. Well, there you go. That's a dip into the 90s. All right. Let me look here. I still got a bunch. I still have a bunch. Why? Here's another one. I don't know why he did this movie. This movie is weird, but I found it funny, and it is just like they fight over a well of water the entire movie, and that's what the movie's about. And that is David Carradine himself in The Warrior and the Sorceress.
Oh, never heard of that.
An Age of Mystery and Magic, of swords and sorcery.
Okay.
So David Carradine is like, it's almost, he's like playing Kane in this world, right? Yes, Knight Riders, we talked about, Gordo, was the first one I discussed, and we can go back to that too. It's basically, there's a ton of nudity in this one. It's Kung Fu. He's playing Kane from Kung Fu, but he's the last one of like a paladin sect, but he's no longer part of that sect, and he comes there and he just wanders into this town. There's these 2 factions that are fighting over this stupid well, and that's the whole movie. And there are these 2 toadies that serve the one guy, and they're giggling. They laugh and giggle the whole movie. They got these big face, fake long goblin noses on. It's really bad. It is really bad. But The Warrior and the Sorceress, it is really cheese. It is bad. Now there is a set, a 4 DVD set you can get on Amazon that has 4 movies in it. has one of that has this, and it has the following, which they for some reason made multiples of this, and that's Deathstalker, the Last Great Warrior King. So another one of this era of movies, the might of the sword, the evil of the sorcerer.
I like the look of that monster. He looks like an awesome ogre or something.
Yeah, it is, and that's probably the highlight of the movie.
Okay.
But for some reason, they made 4 Deathstalker movies.
Oh God, yeah. But it has one of the most
was she?
D&D-esque.
Was she a Playboy bunny? I didn't know that.
But
so
that poster looks more like Eastleigh or Elmore or something than any other movie poster.
Barbie Benton is in this. That's right, Barbie Benton, who was like married to Hugh Hefner for years.
Okay.
And Richard Hill.
Yeah, it looks so D&D-ish. That lady. Looks
So
like a bad Elmore or Eastleigh. Yeah.
4 Deathstalkers. Why, I don't know. So you can get Deathstalker 1, Deathstalker 2, The Warrior and the Sorceress, and then the woman who's in The Warrior and the Sorceress got her own movie, The Barbarian Queen.
Oh,
okay, Lara Clarkson.
Oh,
all right.
God.
Now, this movie, unfortunately, Lara Clarkson had an untimely death. I don't know if she committed suicide or was murdered, but she died right after this movie was made. So, yeah, Barbie Benton was like 70s. Yeah, I can see that,
I think
Patrick.
that movie must have been the initializing that debate about the chainmail bikini debate.
Yeah, well, this is it, The Barbarian
TV.
Queen. But you can get all 4 movies on that DVD, and I know it's available on Amazon.
Wow.
So, you think, Tim, you think this one's a good movie?
Very protective armor, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
well, you can't blame it. Klingon doesn't have much in
It's on Amazon Prime. Geek Puppet says this movie's on Amazon Prime right now. My gosh.
I think I need to watch it. Yeah, I think I need to watch it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So
now they're all wearing bikinis. I think that was the whole point, or a big point of the movie is probably that.
We tie this movie in with a movie that I did not know about, and I forget which of you told me about this one, and I put up, and now let me find it. I put it under here it is. And that is The Barbarians. The Barbarian Brothers. Okay. Yes, and they look like hands. Yes, Richard Lynch is one of them. So
they didn't have enough money to give them swords.
It wasn't okay. Thank you, Lazy. She died in 2003. I heard it was a very bad death that she had. So I apologize. I did not remember it correctly, but thank you for correcting me on
Hans
that.
And Franz.
Hans and Franz. Yeah. So. The Barbarians, and look at the toady guy in the background with the horn coming out of his head. Oh my gosh! So there you go, another one for you all to Phil. That's it, Icarus. Phil Spector killed her. There you go. That was it. Phil Spector shot her at his home, right? Okay. Yes, Phil Spector killed her. Yeah, that was it. Thank you, Icarus. Thank you very much. Yeah, Barbarian Brothers. I had the movie poster. Did you really, Patrick? Oh my gosh, you had this poster.
Wow.
Oh, too bad you don't have the original still. It's probably worth a lot of money, kind of as much as my Knight Riders poster is worth. So there you go. So those guys were hilarious. Well, I never have seen this, so
me neither. I never heard of it.
Yeah, I've only seen 3 of the 4 Deathstalkers, and I know one of the Deathstalkers, the guy who played Hawk in the second series of Buck Rogers, where he had the feathers on and all, is the bad guy in that movie. So, only one of the brothers left alive. I know, man. You never know. Lionheart. I don't have Lionheart down, Gordo. Don't have that one. So that's Tubi. Tubi has everything. All right, I still have some other ones. We're not there yet. We're not done.
Yeah,
we're not done with the synopsis of all these. So I think this is late 80s, early 90s. I'm guessing. I'm going to guess 89. But like I said, one of Bill's favorite one-liners comes from this movie. Is it D&D? I don't know. You can say it's post-apocalyptic. They play a version of football like Blood Bowl, and they use a dog skull as the football. There you go. Right? And it's got Rutger Hauer in it. And that's the Blood of Heroes. So, and it's like, It's made in Australia, and all the actors are Australians. Sinbad of Seven Seas. I don't have that one either, Antiquitous. So, this is very Gamma World-ish. I agree. Blood Bowl. Joan Chen is in this. Yep, and I could watch this over and over again, and I don't know what my fascination with it was. I will figure out a way to cut and paste all the posters I have found somehow and get them to everyone, maybe in a big document. I'll get you the whole list.
Yeah, but that is, I haven't seen this movie, but when I see that poster, that looks like something I would like to watch, so to speak. That looks like it's serious enough and some, but I don't know. It might be a terrible movie, but
it's called Salute of the Jugger in Australia. And there's a different ending, completely different ending in Australia than there is in the United States. Okay. So there you go. Yes. Note that they're on the surface, and they live better than most because they play this game where they almost kill each other trying to put. All you gotta do is put the skull on the stake and you win. One score and that's it. And 100 stones 3 times, right? But there's 9 cities beneath the ground, way beneath the ground where people live, and then they have professional jugger leagues, and the goal is they want to get into professional leagues. And Rutger Hauer's an ex-professional player, so that's the whole story. And D'Onofrio's in it too. Vincent D'Onofrio's in this movie, so there you go. If I recall, he has a sex scene with Joan Chen too, doesn't he? So he's getting them all. You prefer Jason the Argonauts? Yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet because it's Greek, but we will, and that's 80s. I think Jason the Argonauts is 70s, though, isn't it? So there you go. Blood of Heroes. Interesting movie. And let's do that one next. Harry Hamlin. I still, for cheese, I really appreciated that they put, if you watch the remake, they put the little owl in it, and they go, ignore that. And it's sitting there in a pile of crap, right? In the second movie, the owl from this one.
I've never heard of this one. Yep.
Clash of the Titans? Oh my gosh, really, Anna? This is like, this is claymation almost. This is classic. You got to watch this.
Yeah.
You have to watch.
It looks very.
This is so classic.
Looks cool.
Wow.
And kind of
this is your first one on your to watch list out of all of them.
Okay.
Does everyone agree?
Clash of Titans.
Yeah, Clash of Titans is the first one. Harry Hamlin was on L.A. Law at this time.
Oh yeah, I remember that TV.
Yeah,
I saw a couple of episodes of that one. Yeah,
stop motion animation, CGI. There's the Medusas in it. All sorts. Wow. Oh yeah. It is at Pegasus.
Experience the fantastic. Yeah, I like the poster looks.
And if you saw the remake of Clash of the Titans with the guy from Avatar is the main guy. What's his name? The actor, and he was also in Terminator. One of the Terminators.
Oh, okay.
The main guy who plays the paralyzed guy in Avatar. It's the same actor in the remake.
Yeah,
the remake is nowhere near as good as the original. The cheese of the original one is Aegis. The Aegis shields in it. They got a lot of great stuff that you'll. So with the scorpions come out of the blood, freaked me out a little as a kid. Golden Voyage of Sinbad is in this area of stop action movies too. There's a lot of them. Release the Kraken. Yeah, it all comes from this. It's great for that era.
Yeah.
It's great. So,
yeah, I took a screenshot of this.
There you go.
Can remember it. Yep.
Yeah, Ursula Andress is in this, and the original Bond girl, the front of Dr. No, the first Bond girl, is in this movie too. So, Burgess Meredith's in this too, right? I think so. So there, that's a good one. Yeah, Ursula Andress was awesome. I mean, I love Dr. No. She's just hanging out on the beach in the Bahamas collecting shells. Totally believable. So
well, the Bond movies are not really there to be believable, but fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I missed one that I can't believe I missed. And it just came to me, and it's D&D way more than the first 2. Okay, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 aren't D&D movies, but Army of Darkness is, right? Bruce Campbell, Army of Darkness. He fights
I've never
the
seen
army
it,
of
but I've heard about it.
skeletons. I forgot
Yeah.
Army of Darkness. It just came to
Yeah.
me. I was like, how can I forget a Bruce Campbell movie when I'm
Yeah.
such a Bruce Campbell fan? So, yeah, but she's like 20 years older. Raquel Welch is in her 70s and looks great too. And so, so does Jacqueline Smith. And doesn't matter. So, yep. Dragon Slayer we haven't even, Evil Spock, we haven't even said Dragon Slayer yet. So, let's go to that. I'm saving a couple for as we go down here. And here comes we'll do another Connery voiceover at Dragon Heart. Now this is Dennis Quaid's in this too, if I recall, right? Is Dennis Quaid too?
Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
main
It's
character.
it's cool. I mean,
Oh,
Last
I
Dragon.
loved it. It was
Yeah.
a great way, fun, light-hearted way, but it was a true dragon movie, and I loved it. Yeah.
Extort. Hawk the Slayer was in my first 3, so you may have missed it. I did, and we'll go back to those 3. I did Hawk the Slayer, Night Riders, and Excalibur, all from like the 80, 81, the first ones that were in that genre. They're the earliest 3, so we'll throw them back up. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We didn't. So I wasn't a fan of Dragonheart, but a lot of people loved it. Hey, great.
Oh, I liked it. I
Okay.
really liked it. It was a just for it. Rarely
It's
that
okay.
you see
We'll go back.
real dragons on movies. And when we speak about dragons, one other movie, it's came out in 2000. Yeah, we have Dragon Slayer. Yeah.
Well,
so, yeah, let's do this one.
Okay, so Dragon Slayer.
Mhm.
Everyone, were you guys Ally McBeal watchers in the 90s? So if you remember the Biscuit, the guy who paced around, and he's the bad guy in Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
That is the main character in Dragon Slayer.
Oh,
that
wow.
guy.
Yeah, I remember Dragon Slayer. That's also another kind of
best screen dragon. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good dragon. They didn't have that much CG or kind of cool. So production values are low, but they did what they could. And story wise, it's cool because it's kind of a traditional dragon story that they introduced to a wider audience. And yeah, I really like it. And especially in the beginning where they go to the wizard and his apprentice say, tests. We don't do tests.
That's right. It is Ian McKellen. Oh my gosh! So Ian McKellen is the wizard in this?
No, I don't think it's Ian McKellen.
Is he this
no,
one?
it's another British actor.
Oh, okay. It's not Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen is in. I just talked about it. Alfred the Great from the '60s, and he plays the bandit leader in that.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah,
I didn't realize he's like 6'4".
Yeah,
he's tall.
Oh,
Ian McKellen's really tall.
Yeah, but I think it's another
another
serious British actor that plays the wizard that he's been in a lot of Hamlet.
Peter McNichol. Peter McNichol.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. So he's been in a lot of British dramas and stuff like that. So
Ian McKellen, according to Evil Spock, is in Dragon Slayer as the priest, not the wizard. That's very possible.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you're right. Now I say, the priest that in the beginning. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this movie takes a little while to get moving, but it's cool. It's good. And you're right. The cool. Dragon effects are great.
Exactly. It is a movie, a good dragon story, so to speak. And in a way, I think Dragonheart is more lighthearted, but it's also a kind of a cool. It's more silly and doesn't take it as serious. Yeah. Dragon Slayer actually takes itself really seriously, I think.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer is real early too. It's in that era of Knight Riders and 1981, very early.
Yeah,
very,
and Dragon
very
Slayer is an old saga about dragons, but they made it into a movie. So and it's fantasy and magic and stuff. So I like it. But there is one movie that is too late, but I want to mention it for good dragon movies, and that's Reign of Fire, a British movie.
Oh, well, come on, it's got McConaughey in it, so it's got to
and that one is it's a British American thing, but it's like dragons have taken over Britain. And that one has some awesome dragon effects and stuff in it. Probably the best ones ever made for the big screen.
It's also got Christian Bale.
They're wyvern. Yeah, but they are wyverns because they don't have front legs, so they are wyverns. But so are 95% of all the dragons on movies and TVs are wyverns, not true dragons.
Ian McKellen. All right. So Dragon Slayer was a huge departure from Disney at the time. I didn't even realize it was a Disney movie. I know the first PG movie that they did was The Black Hole. I did not realize that was a Disney movie, Dragon Slayer. Wow. All right. Well, You really can identify with a dragon with personality. It doesn't speak at all. Yeah, and when I remember when it killed it, he killed his young and gave it that stare and all. And but hey, it's fantasy movies, right? I love the whole
Yeah,
concept of bringing the wizard back. How he couldn't travel and they killed him and then they put him in the dust and then it was able to summon him back or bring him back. That
yeah.
was really cool. So all right, let me see what I've missed. I know one I've missed, which is
Well,
later, and it's really
yeah, one that we
fantastic.
talked about that we haven't talked about that's been in the scroller, and that's the 13th Warrior.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Oh, and me too. I love that movie.
It's one of my. I think
It has a battle presence that is almost better than any other movie. They've done battle scenes in a way that I think is masterly. It's like the Seven Samurais or something like that. It's one of these war movies that is up there. They depicted when these whatever the bad guys come in and attack that village, so to speak.
right.
That is awesome. It's done so well, and they didn't have an enormous budget, but but what they did with the money they had was absolutely fantastic. I just love it.
I thought it was neat. First of all, Herger the Joyous is the blind guy who fights. Does the fight, and
Yeah.
he's the main of the Northman.
Mhm.
Not the one guy's based on kind of Bolvai's kind of based on Beowulf a little bit, but so if you notice, they're not all Vikings, right? One guy's just Celt. They're all different Northerners. One's a
Yeah,
Russian
they are.
guy from the Russian steppes, or
Yeah, yep.
from Kiev or whatever. They're all over the place, and they're
Yeah,
not. It's a mix.
yeah.
All
And
of
and yeah,
yeah.
and the guy that play King Hrothgar, he's one of Sweden's most famous actors. He
Oh,
passed
okay.
away a few months ago. Sven
Oh,
Wollter. Yeah, he did lots of Swedish movies, and he's lot dramas, and one of Sweden's most well recognized actors within in Sweden, and he played in that. He's one of the few kind of outside Sweden he did, but he's done so many TV series and stuff like that, and he passed away a few months ago, like 2 months ago from COVID.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry to hear
yeah,
that.
yeah. But he was great. So that was one of the few movies. But yeah, the 13th Warrior I think is and young Anthony Banderas and it's kind of
So
it's
everyone
really
remembers Marco. We haven't seen Marco in a while, but Marco always. My wife laughed when she heard this.
yeah.
He said, "Is there anything better than a movie with Antonio Banderas wielding a sword or something like that?" I remember this. It's like, oh, I'm laughing.
It's a good movie, and it also has story to it from the beginning to the end. Meaning that he comes and then goes up to these barbarians in the north that doesn't even wash or have all sorts of weird beliefs, and then it kind of turns sideways from there. And it's a great adventure,
and it's based on
and
a book. So
yeah. Oh yeah, and it's kind of it's an awesome. You can make it into an awesome D&D stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, the 13th Warrior, I just love it. It's awesome.
it's definitely one of my tops.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had to. Oh man, that may be tough. Let me see if I think I've gotten through all the ones I have, and of course you've all pointed out the ones I've missed. Lady Hawk, I talked about the Archer Barbarians. I think I got them all. Oh, I forgot to put this up, and if Bill's on still, you got a real life poster picture of Willow with the real actors and actresses on it instead of the.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
get your Joanne Wally fix. Ubit
Yeah.
Dracona. No, Gordo, I've never even heard of it.
No.
So Will, I did do Labyrinth. Well, I did discuss Labyrinth as well. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a nice one. I think this is the DVD Blu-ray combo where they put the actors on instead of the actual graphics.
Yeah.
I didn't do Neverending Story. I did not put that one on there. That may be another one. It's kind of time bandish. It's Dark Crystal. I missed Dark Crystal. That's the big one I missed.
For me, it was too silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that the music was too popular. It was like
yeah.
I heard it so much on the radio back then.
Krull.
So I was tired of the song.
Got Krull. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely got Krull. Absolutely. Sorsha.
Sorsha.
Oh, Sorsha. Yeah, there's Sorsha. A Joanne Wally sighting. So, what is out of all these you think the best one and the worst? It's between She and Highlander 2 for me. And Rob says if you get through the first 5 minutes of She, then it's better than Highlander 2 to Quickening. I think Highlander 2 is the worst one.
Yeah. The best one for me is 13th Warrior of the one.
I don't
we
have
talked
First
about.
Night. What?
Yeah.
I have Conan is on here. Yeah, we did Conan. Excalibur
First Night
is
great. Probably 90s, I think, but that was
I missed First
very
Night.
Good movie.
Who's in First Night?
It's the guy. He did with. Hang on a second.
First Night. I walked out of it.
It's Richard Gere.
Yeah, Gawain and the Green Knight. We have. It's called Sword of the Valiant.
Yeah, Richard Gere.
Right, Lazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Richard Gere. Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's my opinion.
Oh,
Sean Connery as King Arthur. Robin and Marion. He's also Robin Hood in that movie when he's older, right? Yeah. He plays that. Yeah, Robin and Marion's pretty painful as well. Best 3-way tie. So you can decide what the best and the worst is. The
worst, I don't know which ones are the worst of this because there's so many I haven't seen. But
I like
the 13th Warrior. Is
the best 13th Warrior. I like Willow a lot. I like the original Highlander a lot.
Yeah, and I like the Princess Bride is up there.
Princess Bride is awesome.
Warrior and Princess Bride are probably the two top ones for me. Yeah. With the 13th Warrior being the best because I like serious more than the goofiness of.
There is some of these I want to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. We discussed that Blue Falcon, and that was one of the misses.
I would put that up there with 13th Warrior.
These are the ones that are misses. Dark Crystal, the Robin Hood with Costner. Ivanhoe, the remake in the 80s.
The original Conan was good too.
Yeah, original Conan's up. Yeah, Last Unicorn, it's animated. Fire and Ice. In the Name of the Rose is another one we haven't talked about, but that's more of a murder mystery.
Yeah,
but Connery movie.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good movie.
Is awesome movie. But wasn't that the 90s rather than the 80s? I don't.
We did 80s. It's 80s and 90s. So Evil Dead. Gordo, Evil Dead 2 is kind of. I think Army of Darkness would really fit into this because of that's really just fighting a bunch of undead armies.
The Name of the Rose is.
TV's Wizards and Warriors. I remember it. Will. I remember it. Yeah.
But the Name of the Rose is very good if you want to have like temples and cults. And
no, this is 80s and 90s. We got some 90s in there too. 13th Warriors, 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Blood of Heroes, it's 80s or 90s. So Robin Hood with Costner is 91. No miss.
But the interesting thing is that year when they came out with Kevin Costner Robin, that was a French Robin Hood movie that came out 6 months earlier. And that the thing is, I thought it was the Kevin Costner movie when I went there, and I was disappointed. Then I watched it again. It's actually pretty good, and that is another fantasy-esque movie. That was
So if you missed it earlier, the first couple ones we did talk about was Knight Riders. Because I have my poster up, and you always see that Excalibur. I have that poster up right next to it. Right, because these are really early movies, and Hawk the Slayer, which is that era as well. So I have, 80, 81. Dragon Slayer's right in their time frame too. It's very early. Army, so I remember when. You remember Neverwinter Nights came out, and you could self-program in the adventures. Mm-hmm. Everyone did Army of Darkness missions throughout all that, and they always said he would always say Klana Niktu, whatever. The guy, there was always Bruce Campbell baddies in Neverwinter Nights. Every single adventure had it. So, Further of Nine, but some great music. Watch Flesh and Blood. Didn't and I'm just 60s. Look. Oh, here comes Mike. With a huge raid.
Oh wow!
Hey Mike, thanks. Good timing, man.
Yeah.
So this is what we got. We got and let me shout out Mike as he's coming in here as we're awesome. Klana, yes. I missed Army of Darkness. That is one of it's so campy and cheesy. Thank you, Mike, for the resub. Really appreciate it. Note that we're giving away, and please feel free, anyone who's just hopped in, to sign up. We're doing a giveaway, a $25 gift certificate for our great sponsor, Troller Games, and courtesy of for this. You know what? For this raid, I may do a third one. We're going to give away the Dungeon Land. This is a reprint because of the cheese we're talking about here. All right. And let's see. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't.
I thought that would be the given one for today.
Should I? What do you think, everyone? Should I do this?
Ridiculous. Yeah, you should do it. Yeah.
No, Gordo said, "God, no."
But if there's any show where that would be appropriate to have as a giveaway,
hold on.
Show. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
That is good.
Because you don't need it yourself.
For this, so. Yeah, I don't. These are reprints, everyone.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for coming in and throwing me some follows. That is wonderful. Yeah. So, well, you know what? Gordo, hopefully you don't win it, but hey, you all want to have some. I'm going to do it just because it's going to burn a hole in my printer where it's sitting.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We're going to give away. We're going to give away the joke Castle Greyhawk.
The worst module ever written. For
it's close. So there you go. Yeah. So we have Dungeon Land. You'll do 3 giveaways. That and a $25.
Might be a line or two. You can find one little encounter somewhere that you might actually be able to use, but it's kind of
Michael double shot you out here. So, for our new raiders that have come in, we've discussed, I think I have 43 movies from the 80s and 90s D&D genre. I missed a couple.
Yeah, we added like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah,
we came up with a couple, 3, and then
we missed.
Awesome people in chat came up with another 5.
Dark Crystal, Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner, Ivanhoe, The Last Unicorn, which is animated, Fire and Ice, and Army of Darkness, and a couple others. Mm-hmm. Oh, Mike, thank you so very much for coming in, man. You know, normally, one thing I don't do Gabbin on Sunday nights during the Super Bowl or holidays or someone's birthday or whatever.
Yeah. So we're the Fighting Eagle. Yes, we had that one.
Yes.
They had it in the list. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I'm an old schooler here. For any of you who've come in with Mike and don't know me, I'm a 1E, 2E. Mike has played in my campaign. He played with Anna. He has Skarn, his dwarf priest Skarn in that. And, it's a real fun one. Really a great, we just played 2 or 3 weeks ago. So heavy metal, I wanted to put in, but it's really not D&D, right? It's close.
Yeah, you talked about it first. You
I love heavy metal. Yeah. Heavy metal. You think it should count, Geek Puppet? It's a wonderful, wonderful animated film.
Well, if you count Eric the Viking, you can.
I don't count. Eric the Viking is my joke, right? And so there's Eric the Viking. Tim Robbins, man. Like I said, there are some bad movies on here that we discussed. Some really bad ones. Fire and Ice, then, if animated. Yeah, that's another one I missed.
Dragon Slayer we talked about.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer's on there. Absolutely. Yep. Dragon Slayer is another one we discussed.
That's where they got the name Vermithrax.
Yeah.
From. Yes.
There's Dragon Slayer, definitely in this list, and it's just scrolling through all of them now.
And it's a fantastic image. One of the better.
13th Warrior, Lemonous, we got. 13th Warrior is one of our favorites of all time. I have that. I have the 13th Warrior, Excalibur, and Knight Riders all on my wall behind in my gaming D&D basement. I also have posters of. I have some really bad posters. I have. All right, so I have those 3. I also have Hearts and Armor, right? I have that poster. We just got the Tynan Roberts Christian and Moores movie. I have that poster. I have a poster of Deathstalker. I have a poster of this. They're smaller. They're like this size, right? They're about this big. And I also have, I don't know what I was thinking, because I think I had a small spot in the wall I wanted to fill before I moved stuff around. But I also have the Caradine Warrior and the Sorceress. I have that too as a poster form. So I have all these in posters in addition. So, but these are all reprints. These are not originals. But my Excalibur, my Dungeons and Dragons poster, which I took down for my 13th Warrior and my big one, this one, which for anyone new, there are only supposedly 10 of these in existence. And I got one of them when I moved in this house, and I don't even tell you what it cost me. But it's, like I said, is there anything better than Ed Harris jousting on a motorcycle as King of the Renaissance Fair? Like I said, you want to watch a George Romero movie with Stephen King in it, there you go. Night Riders is it, and it's from like 1980. And yeah, I have that poster up. So Big Trouble in Little China. Some people mentioned that. It's a great adventure movie, isn't it? So, oh, awesome. You got the Gnome Thief, Mike? Because Mike Disney is playing in. All right, let me see if I hit the right button here. Jay's going to hit the wrong button. All right. Mike Disney's playing in our Underdark Uprising. Oh my gosh, we've almost been here on for 2 hours. Holy schmolies.
Yep.
So let me throw this out while we have people who have just come in. And Mike is going to play in the finale on Friday night. It's 2 nights. We have 9 streams, 8 channels. So we're going to have our prelude show for this on Sunday. Our next Gabbin, let me see if I think I had that programmed in. Our next Gabbin is Sunday evening. And we have Time Bandits in there. That's a good one. Ice Pirates is one I forgot about. That's a one that there's a lot of pirate movies back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So we have our Gabbin coming up, and look at all the guests: Carlos, John from Blue Box, Frank from Nightheart Gaming, Jimmy Duffy from Praters, Chuck from Troller Games, Scott Fry, Wily Hobbit, William Henry Dvorak, Wicked Studios, the ever mysterious Tim, and myself and Anna, and we're going to talk about all the great streams coming up. And that'll be next Sunday's Gabbin. And then let me show you all the schedule. We're going to have a fun fundraiser. Braveheart. How can I miss Braveheart? Holy schmolies, Gordo.
Yeah, it's Braveheart. Yeah.
It's Braveheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom, it's 9. So it is 9 total. Red Sonja, we got Mike. Red Sonja, I definitely talked about. Definitely talked about Red Sonja. So here's Friday's schedule, and Mike is playing in this game Friday. So you got Wily Hobbit at 8 a.m., Prayers Rejects at noon, Troller Games with Steven Chenault, the owner of Troller Games DMing at 4, and then Blue Box at 8. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mike will be DMing. He has Gnome Thief, playing, and it's set through Tiltify, so all donations go right to St. Jude, and our goal is $5,000. We have a ton of giveaways, complimentary for that. I'm talking about like 80 items to give away based on your donation order. You get to pick in gift order. So we got a ton of things. Reaper, Troller Games, Infinite Dimensions, and Stratagem is all sponsoring the fundraiser. I got hundreds of dollars on complimentary gifts from all of them. Really excited about it. So hopefully we'll make it. Last year we did $2,500. The first year we did $1,000. So this will be our 3rd one. And then Saturdays, which Anna's playing in the finale, along with Stella Luna. If you know Stella, she has her own stream. She's playing, and the boss man at Paizo, who has done the best RPGing ever on any of my streams, who did Venarium Vord during Virtual Greyhawk Con's finale RPG. He's coming back, Eric Mona himself.
And he will have the same character again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I missed your question, Tom, and it's good to see you, Tom. We also, Tom, you must have not been on when I said, I see my card has improved your voice. I did all your quotes from Highlander. So what was your question, Tom? Can you throw it in there? I don't see it as I'm scrolling back. Jay, what was Crow's fire rate with the bow? Like 6 arrows a round. Yeah, it was Crow would kick Legolas's ass. We decided that earlier.
Okay.
The Crow from Hawk the Slayer would really would beat Legolas to a pulp there. So relishes. Yes, Eric confirmed over the weekend. I was so happy.
Awesome.
He's playing the same character. And I got you want to know what side he's on or whatever, you're just going to have to wait till the finale.
We can't do that until the end, so to speak. And maybe not even in the end.
Yes. We'll see. Yep. Crow, 6 arrows around roughly for Crow. Yeah. That was your question, Tom. Is there a second question? Did I miss? in Hawk the Slayer. But yeah, Crow's fire rate is about 6. Yep. Heck, the last Starfighter is technically a Solid Crest. Yeah. Yep. So Hawk the Slayer is like my guilty pleasure movie, I think, out of all of them. I would say, Anna. I mean, is yours Princess Bride? Like, what's your guilty pleasure movie? It may not be your favorite, but it's a movie you love.
Yeah, The Princess Bride is
It's
yeah.
guilty pleasure movie.
I love exactly. I love the Princess Bride. Is so it's silly and funny and cheesy, but it's good. It's well made and thoughtful and oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Lady Hawk, I love that too, but that has more of a serious
Black
side, so.
Arrow, Canadian. I don't know that one. I know the Archer. The Archer.
Oh, the Black Arrow. I
don't know that one,
yeah.
but
And it's a BBC series back in the 80s, Robin of Sherwood. That was really good too. Yeah, back in the day.
Absolutely, and that's been on. I mean, I love Doctor Who. I love Tom Baker, Doctor Who, John Pertwee, even Doctor Who back in the early 70s, late 60s, and not Colin Baker, but Peter Davison. Even I liked him with a cricket outfit on. And then I liked the second rebooted one, the guy who was in Harry Potter. What was his name? Young guy with the oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. But he was like Doctor for like 3 years after they rebooted it. So
David Tennant. Yeah.
David Tennant. Yeah, Rob, I love David. David Tennant was good. I can't. My brain is off because I finding all these movies and I missed a bunch. I can't believe the ones I missed.
Well, we missed Braveheart.
Yeah.
Damn, that was
Braveheart's another one, man. I can't believe I didn't put that down. But then again, it's like that's above and beyond when you think about it. So high up there. So it was Covington Cross. Yeah, Covington Cross lasted like 8 episodes because it was a soap opera. That's a good one, Antiquitous. It was a soap opera medieval one. Here's another one that I really was disappointed in. It was the same. It was the producer from Sons of Anarchy, The Bastard Executioner. I thought that was going to be great because it had his wife in it, who's was Gemma in and I thought about we have Kroll up here. I'll throw Kroll back up for you. We had Kroll, definitely. There it is. I was so excited about The Bastard Executioner, and it just meandered and wandered, kind of like what Firefly, the TV series, did, and he didn't get to it quick enough, and that's why it got canceled. Sometimes you got to get to the point earlier, and I think The Bastard Executioner was the same way. No one see Flesh and Blood with Rutger Hauer. We have Lady Hawk up with Rutger Hauer. We have The Blood of Heroes up with Rutger Hauer. Is that the one you're thinking of? Firefly was released out of order. Yeah, it was all jumbled. That's true. They messed up Firefly really badly, and once again, I am going to say this: Joss Whedon is no dummy. He rips off Buffy from D&D, and Firefly is Traveler. It is. If you don't,
that's true.
It is Traveler. And you cannot make that argument that it's not that game, but it's exactly the same as Traveler. So you didn't see Firefly until 5 years ago or so? Yeah, it's Traveler, which is kind of smart when you think about it. Yeah. So Flesh and Blood was medieval. Brother. Huh. So you guys are coming out with stuff I know nothing about now. You guys are educating me with a lot of these discussions,
awesome.
Which is really cool. Firefly and Serenity straight through at least 10 times now. I might be addicted. And do you play the role playing game? There is a Firefly role playing game, Vanham. So wow, you just gave me an idea. Okay. I got an idea so next time we're gonna do a guilty pleasure night like we did this night on an off night. I got one. Okay. Guilty pleasure fringe role-playing games.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Firefly, Aftermath, Mech Warrior, Earth Dawn. What's the one where you rolled 100 6-sided dice?
10 Candles.
Shadowrun.
Yeah.
You got Star Frontiers. Exactly. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do that. That was a great, yeah. There's the Doctor Who role playing game. GURPS, Roll City Paranoia. Oh my gosh,
Oh, Paranoia. Oh,
we can do an
yes.
entire show on that.
Junta. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Twilight 2000, another one.
Oh, yes. That was too
Oh my
close to reality
gosh.
for me. But yeah.
The Rift start, yeah. So
Yeah, I started the Twilight
Top
2010.
Secret. Yes.
Oh yeah, Top Secret
Yeah,
was fun.
Tunnels
Yeah.
and Trolls, which was the D&D compare. That was
I
the
never
UK
played
version.
Tunnels and Trolls.
Yeah.
Was it good? Yeah.
Pendragon, that's another one. Rollmaster, yes. Car Wars.
There's lots of
Oh my gosh. See, I can come up right off the spur of the moment. I came up with a good idea.
Yeah. So that's remember that for
I will. I'm putting that down. So here's the thing. Tim DMs Aftermath, and I run BattleTech. I promise we will get one of those two in at some point on a stream, maybe an off night and a Saturday night special. We will do either an Aftermath art stream or a Mech Warrior one. Promise. Just review the chat and you have your list. Exactly. Villains and Vigilantes. All the ones that were in the Dungeon magazine. Yeah. Long shot. That's a great idea, man. Please, you can do that. Sure. All right. Hey, Will, thanks a lot. And I'll see you Sunday night, Will. So everyone remember, there is no Legends of Lore this Wednesday. I have a personal, right, Tom? I have a personal thing going on with Tom, Allen, and Rocinante. So this is funny. So I forget was it on Legends and Lore? We were discussing, it was another show. We were discussing The Expanse, and Rocinante is the name of the ship. And then I said, Rocinante is the name of the ship from a Rush song. And everyone was like, "No, really?" And so it's like the Milky Way bar. Well, the Milky Way bar is named after the Milky Way galaxy. It's not the other way around. But so Rocinante it's the ship from Cygnus X1. So remember Zork? You're playing Zork and it was all text, and that was like the greatest thing back then. And you're like, Talzanti, that's another one.
Mods and stuff. Yeah. All sorts of stuff.
Wizardry was wonderful. Bloodwild, I'm going to tell you a little Tim story. Tim's dad had an editing program for Wizardry. So we could go in and we could edit in and put Wordna and the Poison Giants and all back in over and over and over again on that bottom level where the chute is, and just fight them over and over and over. It was awesome. Back then. It was great. So, yeah. It was Pong, yeah. Remember them all. I remember them all. I know we were off on a tangent there with that, but man, so I'm glad. That's the whole fun thing about one of these nights. You tilt-a-weight. Apple IIe and IICs were the first ones that could run that game. And then Bard's Tale came out for the Commodore 64. And then Wasteland came out, and there's all those great ones. That's another one. Oh my gosh. All right, Goldbox games. D&D early games. Another Gabbin we can do. The early video games.
Yeah,
the early D&D RPGs. Yeah. Another one we could do.
Yeah, it was Amiga for my.
Rocinante was Don Quixote's horse. So my guess is that Rush took it from Don Quixote, Rocinante, and made that the ship in the lyrics, because it was Neil Peart did all their lyrics. It was an Ayn Rand fan, so he got a lot of his stuff from there too. But and then the Expanse said they got it from Rush, so it means workhorse. Cool. Reverse Warriors of the Eternal Sun. Warriors of the Eternal Sun is a hidden gem there, Bloodwild. Definitely, it's in that genre of wastelandish stuff. Absolutely, definitely. Wow. All right, so we got some giveaways to do here, don't we?
Yeah.
We got 3.
Yeah.
So Curse of the Azure Bond's great too. Going back to Firefly for a moment, I'll go for it. I swear by my pretty. I liked Adam Baldwin, right? That was his name, Adam Baldwin, and you know him from a ton of stuff, right? He did, and he was in Firefly. He was in The Patriot. He was in way back in he was in Full Metal Jacket. He was Animal Mother in Full Metal Jacket, right? Yeah. So and he was in Firefly. He did a lot of things. Yeah. Is there a Discord link? All right. So Bobcat, I'm going to throw you out a couple. Here's Cannon Fires. Okay. And here's our virtual Greyhawk Con one as well. Please hit that one up too, because Underdark Uprising updates. My channel updates are there too, and stuff for all of our conventions for Gary Con and Virtual Greyhawk Con are there too. Yeah, he was in Patriot. He was the loyalist in Patriot, and then I don't have this on I don't have this one set to a Discord anymore because it's not, the link is not active, but here's Greyhawk Online as well. You can go to that front page and the Discord will be linked there as well. So but I appreciate all the hop-ins with Mike. Thank you so very much for the raid. So all right, worst of all time, Rob. Is it Phantom? Is it She? Or we still have to decide. Is it Highlander 2: The Quickening, The Planet Zeist, or is it She? Which one is the worst ones that we discussed tonight? Tim votes She.
I'm not surprised. I haven't seen them, but judging from the poster, I'm not
Highlander 2: The Quickening is so disappointing, though.
Okay.
I haven't seen. So yeah, I'm She is meant to be bad, right?
Okay. But Highlander 2 was not meant to be bad, I guess. It was.
Yeah, Highlander 2 is so disappointing. So Highlander 2, yeah. It betrayed everything. Like, why are they from another planet all of a sudden? You know? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Prometheus. I hope your training went well tonight. I saw that. I hope it went very well for Fantasy Grounds. That's cool. All right, we got 3 giveaways we're going to do. So, all right. So Highlander 2 is the winner right now, with She a close second.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to say and Anna's got to watch Clash of the Titans. We decided that Anna has never seen Clash of the Titans.
I need to see it.
She has to see this right away.
Oh yeah, if there's any movie in here that I haven't seen that we talked about today, it's this one.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, she has to see Clash of the Titans.
Yep, definitely.
What a great movie! You have to see that. For me, I want to go back and I want to find this movie. And once again, what's the rename of it? I gotta watch this again. The Archer and the Sorceress, and it's called what's it called again? You had that up there before earlier. I need to watch this. I've seen it once in my life. She was better than Caddyshack 2, and Caddyshack 2 is awful.
That's the kind of yardstick you used when we talked
Thank
about
you,
it first.
The Archer. This is called The Archer, Fugitive from the Empire. I need to find this and rewatch this because I've only seen it once in my life, and I want to watch that movie again because I liked it when I was a kid, and maybe I missed.
It's interesting to see movies again when you're growing up from. Yeah, when you were a kid.
But let me tell you something. The one that's up here, Hawk the Slayer, Jack Palance, it's so cheesy now. And like I said, all they do is eat the whole movie, but it's fun. It's got atypical, for the most part, party in it. And it's all relative. Exactly. And that's what this whole discussion was tonight, just to have some fun with it on an off night. And thank you all. Well, that's true. And I think that he based on it. Put your list out most to be on. I will attempt to take a doc and just cut and paste all these in because they're all JPEGs and just and then just save it as a file and I'll link it. I'll link it, and you know what I'll do? I'll link it in on at least Cannon Fire Discord and Virtual Greyhawk Con Discord. Okay, I'll put them there. So one more time, I will put them up. I will put them up here, and I'll put it up here. Okay, put them up both places. Yep. All right. So Anna, we'll do some quickie announcements here. I know I talked about Underdark Uprising. Yeah. But, go for
it. Well, we had a game session yesterday, and that was a lot of fun getting into it was not a live session. We just got into Fantasy Grounds and did some mock battles and stuff, so we started getting into that, and I'm starting to feel like I'm getting over the hump and now actually starting to enjoy running games using Fantasy Grounds, so it's good. So now we're set up to have a big clash with the 0 level characters are going to first encounters with the some high up Eusians for the first time. So there will not be any fighting, because then they will die. But we'll see how they survive that encounter. So
and they're still 0 level, right?
oh yeah, they're still
Oh
0
my
level.
gosh! How
They're
many
not,
sessions?
yeah,
5.
Four sessions. Yeah, we had 4 real sessions. So yeah. And they're still 0 level. They're not even halfway to be first level yet. So I'm taking it slow and steady here. So it's kind of scary. And they had a fight with a test fight with a few skeletons. We said it was like a dream they had overnight, so they almost got killed from that. But that was fun. Okay, yeah.
And it's got a lot going on. And
Yep.
it's got a lot going on.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm also setting up the second stage on. I've done the first stage on the new generation of Greyhawk map, my test area in Southern Shieldlands, and now I'm moving into the second one. So there might actually be something to look at, hopefully fairly soon, if it all goes well. And I also have 2 commissions that I'm trying to wrap up, and so I've been very busy with that lately too. So hopefully that could be done in a wrap up, one for Cobalt Press and one for Gryffindor Games. So hopefully that could be a wrap up very soon.
And also a little. This is really foreshadowing down the road. But Troller Games wants Anna and I to do something together too.
Okay. Yep.
So maybe we'll do that too down the road.
Yep.
Get some really cool things going.
Yep.
Lots of fun things for 2021.
Looking into Lendor Isles and a whole bunch of stuff, because now I'm hopefully, if this second big render turns out well and I can put it together, then I'm good to go. Then I know that all the bits because there's a couple of different ways you have to. There's like 3 different ways to do it, and the problem is that each time takes 2 days to do each render. So I just have to realize it might take a week to figure out which version is best. So I have to do all 3 ways to see which of the ways works best, so to speak, and then mix the data together and see. So it's one of these technical thingies, so to speak. So yeah, right now I'm kind of caught up in a whole bunch of different stuff. But it's coming. So yeah.
And it's got a lot.
Lendor Isle will be, yeah. If it's as good as my test area, and it will be even better. It will be really cool. So yeah.
So note that there's Wednesday night. There's no Wednesday night Legends of Lore this week, so it's a quick week. Yep. All right. So our next stream after tonight is Thursday night, and we start with adventure number 901. All right, so we finally got through 900 and 9. Whoops, I keep on moving stuff around.
Yeah,
All right, so Castles and Crusades, U2, Verdant Rage. All right, really cool cover. There's an entire town in this that I have managed to put on the map just north of Narwhal called Camray. So they'll be traveling to it's already on my table. I'm going to sneak peek it for you. You'll see this all on tomorrow. You know how I put ads out normally tomorrow night, but the town of Camray is up on my table already.
Wow, that looks awesome.
Okay, so there you go. So love you some Castles and Crusades, absolutely.
Now I want to play with miniatures like that. Ooh,
thanks.
That so cool.
That's Camray. Now I want to show you something, and I'm not bashing them. I can't. But I made that up from that map. I made it up from that map. So yeah.
As a cartographer, I must say that I prefer your version over.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I got Camray up on the map, and that's where it starts. That's where the adventure starts. So note that this is a Troll Lord Games week for giveaways. Thank you all. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
So tonight we have a $25 gift certificate. Troy, this is your last one of all of the gifts that you gave me. It's Cursive Cannibal Eridar who gave me a bunch to give out. So this is the last that gift certificate. But on Thursday night, I'm giving away a hard copy of the Adventure Verdant Rage we're playing, and a gift certificate for the PDF of it. You know, with the shipping, and also during the Gabbin on Sunday night, where we have our discussion on Underdark Uprising. We'll also be doing Troller Games giveaways on Sunday night, and that'll be for Underdark. There you go, and that's what's going on the rest of this week. So note that it's a lot of giveaways for Troller Games, and they're really stepping up, and they're giving out a lot of stuff for Underdog Uprising. They're wonderful, you know. Oh, you don't have to do that, man, Troy, but thank you. You and Canadian have been so generous. Our next Legends and Lore next week is Underdark week, right? So start because it's Friday and Saturday of next week is the fundraiser. So next Wednesday's Legends and Lore number 87 is the Underdark. So we're going to talk about the Underdark and Greyhawk. All right. So we'll get to that. And I don't know where he is. Where Chuck is tonight, but that's okay. It's a Monday. It's a weird off night for us. But yeah, the Underdark, that'll be our next Legends and Lore, and we'll talk about the Underdark as it pertains to the world of Greyhawk and where the entrances are and things.
And some
like
of the
that.
modules are set there, and other esoteric and stuff that we can come up
Jimmy.
with.
Jimmy, we're gonna see what Jimmy has store for his Underdark Uprising Praetors Rejects on Sunday. He always loves these shows, don't you, Jimmy? But I'm really excited about this. 9 streams, 8 channels. You sure do. Tim at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's got a full game of 5. Oh, Wiley Hobbit for the start off for Friday morning at 8 a.m. is still looking for 2. Okay, so let me shout him out. If you can play 8 a.m. Friday morning, I saw it posted just recently. He's looking for 2 players for his Underdark Uprising. Okay, so there you go. Gordo, if Sargent was alive, I'd have him coming, right? But he's passed, unfortunately. Jimmy Duffy, Praetors Rejects, has 2 spots for his at noon on Friday. Just now, if you can play then, please look up Jimmy Duffy for his as well, because we got a week and a half to get them filled. All right. Yeah, 2. Yeah, Phantom. I believe he has 2. He told me 2, and Jimmy's got 2 as well. I know Phantom's playing in one of them playing in it. Tim is playing in mine and DMing one on Saturday, and so we got a lot of crossovers there. All right, let's do the giveaways. And I think this was real fun tonight, Anna. What do you think?
And you had so much knowledge about these movies and actors and stuff, so that made it good. So
I tried here. Yeah, there's Jimmy's Discord. Please, if you want to hop in and talk to him. Mike, thank you so very much for the raid. Megan, thank you for supporting and doing everything you do for him. I'm going to you got to be on to win. Please note, it's an arm and a leg to ship to Canada. So if you win something, maybe we can figure out a way where I can gift certificate you know, or whatever. But we do have the Troller Games gift certificate. Well, thanks, Blood. Thank you. So doing 3 giveaways. I'll give everyone 30 seconds. If you're not signed up, please do. And we will give these 3 giveaways tonight. I will start talking about GaryCon 13 after the fundraiser's done. I gotta concentrate on this. But I do have a question, Jimmy. What is my premier highlighted event that I got the email for that says it's very special and it's a limit? You know, I'm assuming it's my joust, but I was just curious. So if you have not, please do sign up for Gordo. What are the odds you're going to win it? Really? What are the odds? So Troy, you and I will get together, and we'll do your PayPal to something. We'll get Chuck all set up. I'm traveling the next 2 days for work, so I'll get Chuck involved in it, and we'll get it all worked out. So it's cool. All right. I'm going to close this out. Closing the entries out. Thank you all for signing up, and thank you all for
awesome comments and participation.
Yep, here we go. All right, winner number 1 is, here we go. It's not that, Prometheus.
Oh,
Prometheus Troller Games $25 gift certificate. There you go, because you're in Canada. So you get that, and that's the highest value out of all of them. So, all right.
Well, thank you, Mike. Awesome, thank you.
Right.
So your painting and stuff is absolutely
yes.
best.
And please note, Mike Disney has a show. He's the opening Greyhawk channeled. Oh, Mike, I got to talk to you about that still. I need your email, Mike, for Jimmy Duffy that your Art of Mike Disney channel's linked to, so he can give you the key to for all streaming on Greyhawk Con channel. But we can dual stream it if you want. I gotta get that information from you at some point. So Mike is the first event we have for Gary Con in March, end of March. All right, next winner. Bobcats. Bobcat, that's like two in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen Bobcat around. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did someone raid us? What happened? It says 262 now. Twitch is acting weird. That's weird.
Well, we've had some, yeah.
That's bizarre. So, Bobcat, I think you just, I thought I just got you in here. Bobcat. Okay, Bobcat, cool. I got your address.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bobcat, which one? Dungeon Land or Castle Greyhawk? Which one? Which one would you like?
Let's
Bobcat.
See. Yeah, I'm looking at chat here.
Oh yeah, Bobcat. Go with Castle Greyhawk. It's thicker. Look at the difference in thickness. Yes, he took Castle Greyhawk. Yes. There you go.
Awesome.
All right, last winner.
Good choice. Yep. Now you have
last
a
winner.
month of
Maybe the word got out about the giveaway. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, last winner. So, thank you for the follow. Antiquitous. You win the Dungeon Land. And Antiquitous only lives like an hour from me. So there you go. That's an easy ship. Mm-hmm. So yes, you won something.
Yep.
So, all right. But note, tons of giveaways this week. More Troller games more Troller games on Thursday, more Troller games on Sunday. I guarantee there'll be other stuff too. So please feel free to hop in, lurk away if you can, if you got something going on. We're trying to build the community up here. It's going great. I consider Mike an integral part of the community. Mike does a lot of painting for us. Mike does a lot of great things. You got Jimmy. You got all these channels where the community is really coming together. So let's keep it going. I hope you all had fun tonight with the discussion. Anna, it was a blast. It was a blast. I promise. Awesome. Yes, thank you. I promised my wife I wouldn't stay on too late tonight because
and I have a meeting too. In 15
oh yeah, that's right. You have a family meeting, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we have a.
Who should we raid?
Yep.
We're gonna raid Fable 42. Okay. And the reason I'm gonna raid into Fable 42 is because Chris Solo has joined us for doing a Greyhawk stream, and he's joined us and he's going to do part in Gary Con as well. And by the way, if you're a streamer and you haven't, look at all those great. You can get now with cheer dollars, cheer points. You can get put in those emotes, put in a whole bunch of new custom emotes. I got all my heraldry in there, and Canadian's got them. So a new way to give emotes out to your viewers. All right, good choice of Fable 42. Chris is awesome. So, and thank you all, and we'll see you Thursday night for a really cool adventure by Verdant Rage. By my second one I've done from Castles and Crusades in my campaign, and it's going to be an awesome gnarly forest based adventure. And I'll see you all Thursday. Everyone have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you soon. Will Jay hit the right button? Everyone. Tune in next time. Hit the right button. Boom. All right, let's raid into Chris.
You did. Yep.
Awesome. I'd love to bring in. I can't see the number because it still says 0. I hate that.
Okay. Yeah, they have some screwy. Yeah.
They got all sorts of screwy things going.
But you see it when the raid actually goes in. You can see.
5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we got to do a bunch of stuff, man. Absolutely. We'll see you guys all soon. Thank you so very much. Raiding in.
75. Yep. 75 is not bad.
75. That's awesome.
Yep.